Who's ready? Hype in the chat. The Rower, how you doing? Welcome in. How's it going? Everybody hype. We have a new first-time chatter in here. Rower, how you doing? Welcome in. You would, Nate. You would. Thank you so much, Nate, for the bits. Guys, if you want to know if I have big balls, just donate some bits. All right, guys, let's get started. We're going to give Ice Keyboards a call over here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. Let's give him a call. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. So first and foremost, I did see a little bit of an issue with the recording on Insights GG. So if there's an issue, then we'll just have to switch to my... I downloaded the FOD as well, so we'll work with that. But
okay.
Yeah, everything good, sir? How you been?
Yes. I've been doing good. Just was watching the grand finals of VCT, which is nice. But yeah,
Awesome.
Other than that, it is fun.
Awesome. How's it going over there? I hear Optics winning right now.
Yeah, they kind of like it was 5-0. Then Loud brought it back, so it was a 6-6 half, and yeah, Aspas is dominating them. So
Is it
that's fun.
Aspas?
Aspas, ASPAS. What it's a
ASPAS. Is it, what? Is this a new player? Wait, what is this?
It's a Brazilian player. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So Brazil. So actually, it's what is it? It's Loud, right? So Loud winning now.
Loud. No, it's 6-6 right now. They're going into the second half.
Yeah, because Optic was up.
Optic was on defense.
Optic was up like 5-1 or something like that. I heard
5-0 at one point.
Oh, geez, and it's probably an economy problem. I'm sure if I looked at it, I'll be like, okay, someone bought incorrectly here. But alas, here we are. So.
Yes.
Keyboards, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've been in the chat for a while. You've been following my content for a little bit.
Yeah, I started on TikTok just watching like content, and I was looking for a coach, and I was like, why not just do this coach that I know is decent, and instead of going just over on Metafy, because I did get coaching on specifically Brimbind before, but the coaching I received wasn't amazing, and it was like just giving me pointers on what to do, but that was when I was plat, so now I'm here.
Okay, and what are you now?
Right now Ascendant 3, but I went on a heater. So I was at the time of this recording, I think it was Ascendant 1 or 2.
Okay, awesome. And what are your goals? Sorry, go ahead.
My goal is just is to get better. Like, I'm seeing improvements in how I'm playing. I also just downloaded Mouse Excel, and I've been playing amazing with it, so that's awesome.
You're using Mouse Excel?
Yeah, I'm just using it's called Custom Curve LE, and I made a curve for myself, and I started playing on it, and I've been just insane. So
okay,
yeah.
That is the first time I've heard someone say they are like really loving Mouse Excel. Actually,
yeah, no, it's it felt like I was on a sense that I felt a little like I felt good on it, but I felt a little static. And now with this new sense, I'm able to make small micro adjustments as well as having my regular sense, because I have a curve that, like, with my normal like turn, I'm going into like a decent sense, and then I can flick 180 and be completely fine without having to throw my mouse to the end of my mouse pad.
Okay. For anyone in the chat, who doesn't know what Mouse Excel is, basically it's a program within the mouse itself or within Windows sometimes, where it automatically will sense how fast you're moving your mouse, and it will speed up based on that. So how fast you move across your mouse pad will actually make you flick faster. So there's I know there are some pros. I think Swag was using Mouse Excel for the longest time, and so there's a few pros that have been using Mouse Excel. It's one of those things, I think when I first started competing, I was using Mouse Excel without even realizing it. And then the transition from Mouse Excel to not using Mouse Excel was like really difficult for me for many years because I was so used to like flicking fast. But yeah, to each their own. When it comes to settings, man, I'm like, I try to stay away from giving a really, like opinions on certain things. Obviously, if you're looking at like minimap, for example, then we're going to talk about, specifics for that, because I think there's a legitimate argument for why you should zoom out your map at that point.
Yeah.
But when it comes to any kind of like mouse acceleration or sensitivities, I leave that up to the user at that point, because I think it's what best suits you, right? It's kind of like choosing a shoe size, right? You know what your size should be. I'm not going to tell you to wear size 7 when you're a size 13. It just doesn't make sense. It's not gonna work, right? So whatever works best for you, I'm never going to knock you for that. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, because I played Counter-Strike for, I think it's coming on 8 years now. Way too many hours in that game, but I always never had mouse accel on during that time, and I never really took it seriously. Now I'm kind of taking like Valorant seriously, and I've my friend was using raw accel, and
welcome
basically
to the stream, by the way,
like,
Curly Fries. How you doing?
I gave it a try because I'm like, I am feeling a little like static. I'm not able to do big, like completely big jumps to like people behind me, or like different angles, and this is basically just making it so I'm able to check like right and left corners fast, as if I'm like playing a duelist, like faster and more consistently than I would be before, because I used to play on 2.8 or 0.28 cents 800 DPI, and now I'm 0.18 cents with this curve, and it feels extremely natural, which is nice.
How many years? You said 8 years for Counter-Strike. How many hours you put in?
Let's not get into that. I'm kidding. But I think
to me, probably.
Yeah, I have, I think 6,000 hours across all like the 2 accounts I have.
Nice.
Which is pretty decent for my
Cool. So you and I are going to have a very good conversation, because we're probably thinking very similarly with a lot of situations.
I hope so. Yeah. And sorry because I did go on a tangent. I guess my goal right now, I want to hit Immortal by the end of the episode. That's like my hard goal, like for the end of the year. But right now it's just basically improving, making sure that I'm like making the correct plays, and I've started to transition into like a duelist role, because I'm finding myself getting a little panicked sometimes when I'm using smokes, but I can also like I'm really wanting to make sure that like my smokes are good, so even if I do have to fill, I'm completely fine.
Okay, and you normally play controller? Is that what you do, or is there other?
Yeah, so this act, it was basically like last act. It was like I was playing controller and it felt weird, so I started playing like initiator duelist, and then like this specific act, I was like, okay, I'm feeling really good on my controller on Viper and on Brim, so I started playing that, but then putting in some chamber and some Phoenix, and my chamber and Phoenix has been really good, but my Brim and my Viper has started to be worse and worse, which is unfortunate. But
why?
I don't know. I had a 5 stack that I was playing with, and I noticed myself having to deal with everything. So I needed to smoke for this person, do this smoke, like
I know it is,
and always constantly being in my iPad and smoking for people on Brim. And it got to the point where me and a person that I was playing with said we were going to peek. This was on Ascent. We were going to peek tiles together, and we had that plan ready going into the round. And then my teammate, with like 2 seconds left in the round, tells me to smoke deep A main. So I'm like, okay, I rush to do the deep smoke A main so they can play that, and then I end up accidentally panic smoking tiles. So then we have to fight top mid, and then we lose. It was
okay.
Yeah, it was a lot.
You're putting the weight of the world on your shoulders a little bit.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I often call that the issue and the problem, and it comes from the pre-round plan as well, right? So being very vocal about what it is that you're going to do at the beginning of the round, which you kind of did, will alleviate any of that stress, because if they end up calling you at like 2 seconds before the round, that's on them at that point. Like, you absolve yourself of guilt. And if they give you shit for that at the end of the day, there's this magical button on your screen. It starts with an M, ends with a Ute. You just put it on there, right?
Okay.
Forget that. Because you went with, you did everything within your power to make that possible for them to know exactly what you're doing, right? And if they wanted that, they had 30 seconds, 30 friggin' seconds to be able to tell you prior to you making that plan. So that's on them at that point. You can't put the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I find with a lot of controllers, that's often the case. It's one of the most thankless jobs in the game.
Oh my god,
but
yeah.
it's the most important one too. And it's funny because I've got two sayings, right, that people think about when it comes to controllers. You win as a team, lose as a controller, or you win as a team, lose as an IGL, one of the two, right? And usually IGLing and controller goes hand in hand. So it's like, so it's one of those things that we just need to, like, we have to bear it. We have to be Jesus on the cross when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? So awesome. Any other struggles that you have? You mentioned a few there. Any other struggles that you think
of? There was like an aim struggle that I was basically like, when I would flick, I would, like, my mouse would be going downward when I'm like doing like a 90-degree flick or a 180 flick. But that has changed with raw or mouse XL, so it's not really a problem anymore. Right now, it's basically like, I think I don't know if I'm committing too much. A lot of the time, I feel like I'm committing too much, and then some of the time, I'm just like, okay, that was a fine commit, or like a crouch, because I do crouch a lot, and I know that. I have tried unbinding crouch, and it's basically like, it's just the way I play, and I feel good with that, which I'm not entirely too sure. And also holding my crosshair wider, or like at a wider angle than I am right now. Like, I've noticed that I'm holding my crosshair on an angle closer, like close to the corner, and it's making it so I have to flick outwards, and it's actually harder to flick outwards, in my opinion, for myself at least, than just holding the angle and being able to one tap as soon as they come into the crosshair. Because a lot of the time, especially in this rank, they'll just wide peek, or like they'll peek not jiggling, which is what I find, like, I just need to hold my crosshair further out.
Okay, there's a lot of protocols for pretty much everything. I can teach you everything you need to know about all this stuff, but we're going to have to see specific examples. Okay. They're going to wide swing you when they know that you're there, essentially. They're going to wide swing you when they want to commit, right? And they know that they're going to win that fight. So that's one thing. You always want to think about the path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent. If I was them, what would I do? And that's how you basically counter it. In terms of holding your crosshair close to a certain wall, I always go by the rule of, if I can't hear anything, I'm going to hold it close. If I can hear something, I'm going to move it further away, right? Because I've got to assume that they're going to probably walk into my crosshair if I don't hear anything. They can only be walking at that point, right? So it's just natural logic at that point. But we'll talk about specifics. There is one thing that I want to talk about too, is that you want to limit how many times you have to 180-degree flick. If you have to 180-degree flick, you're probably out of position. You're probably out of position. That's my general rule of thumb there. So we'll look at certain things specifically to that. I didn't see anything nasty like that in this VOD, because I just looked over your notes real quick, but maybe I missed something, because you know, I do one little skim through, write down my notes, and then I get more in depth when I actually do the session at that point. So there could be some areas, and now I know what to look for. So cool. So some of the things that I noticed right away that I think is going to help you immensely. Okay, there's 4 learning objectives that I want to really focus on. So it's the bare ass minimum lesson. We're going to be talking about, you know, when you're on eco, and this translates from Counter-Strike as well. It's the same kind of rules, right? When you're on eco, we need to be focusing on small victories, right? We're basically making the investment on this round, and we're assuming we're going to take a statistical disadvantage, which is going to probably net us a loss round, right? Most likely net us a loss round. Not saying that you can't win the round, but you want to change the mentality to, what can we do to get small victories this round so that our next rounds are going to be a little bit easier for us to win, okay? If we start thinking like that, we start taking more perceived risky plays, if you will, and better decisions overall because of the weapons that we have, right? So we'll go into more depth about those things. We're going to be talking about comms. Comms is the most important piece when it comes to Ascendant Plus, right? Because this is where you really differentiate between, you know, 1 or 2 ranks is really about how you communicate well, right? So we'll talk about specifics. Action comms, for example, what you should be saying when you're in a 5vx, whatever it is, or sorry, an XV1, for example, what you should be communicating when you're looking at things, all that good stuff. And I'll give you some specific ideas of what you can start working on right away. Okay?
Okay.
Post plants is one of the biggest issues in this VOD So I've been waiting for someone like you to give me some options to talk about post plants, and we finally found it. So it's going to be a really great learning example. And the last one is Brimstone Utility. So we're going to be talking about specifics with Brimstone itself and the controller role as a whole. Sound good?
Awesome.
Let's dive into it. And at any point in time, my friend, at any point in time, feel free to ask questions. Okay?
I will.
Cool. So our first round is all about comms. That's the note I made. Okay?
Oh, I don't have it.
So I believe this is a well-played round on your part. You have great comms and whatnot, good smoke placements, but there's a few key comms that you could have said that aren't super round changing because I believe everyone knows what's going on this round, but it's still worth saying and it's a good habit to get into. So let me give you an example right here.
Okay.
Can you hear this okay?
Yep.
Chat, can you hear this okay?
They're gonna be shower. You have to hold my shower.
So that's good comm.
I have another smoke. I'm gonna smoke smoking heaven.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You instantaneously see this on the mini map. Okay. Where's my map? There we go. Is it coming out? What the heck? All right. Maybe I can. What the heck's going on here? Why isn't this happening? Why isn't my pen working? My pen's not working. Epic pen. Epic pen. Epic pen. Pen. Where are you? It's not coming up here. What the heck? Okay, let me reset my Epic pen. Sorry about that.
All good.
1 second. Sorry, guys. Let me just get this going. I don't know why that's not working. Weird. Epic pen. Sometimes it just chooses to work, and sometimes it... Yeah, there we go. Now it's working. What the fuck? Weird. Okay, here we go again. Let's try this again. So, if we go back a second or two, let's try it again. So your eyes should actually be on the minimap at this point because there's no sense in putting... Whenever you're planting, just like a general rule, whenever you're planting, you can't shoot back, right? So no sense looking in your crosshair. So let's look at the minimap. 1,
Smoking heaven.
2, 3, all 3.
Yeah.
How many people are alive? 3 left, right? Okay.
So we know where all of them are.
You know where all of them are, so make that communication. And the other thing that you can say right away in this situation is all 3 are in front of us, or nobody's coming from flank, flank is clear, right? Any kind of comm like that gives everyone here so much more relief because we know that there could be nobody behind us at all, right? And that just gives us so much more confidence to be able to peek certain angles or hold off and play our post plant properly at that point, okay?
Yeah.
And that will clean things up a little bit.
Don't peek.
Another example here.
25 on sky.
I have U-Haul, right? Just communicating. I have U-Haul. I've got this whole area. They can only come from in front of you, right? These little things like this. Yeah. Shauna, R.I.P. Pet, exactly. So like these little comms right here give people a little bit more confidence. For example, this chamber was moving back and forth to look in U-Haul to like help you, and then move back here, and that's what ended up happening, and he ended up getting killed because of it, right? So he wasn't really positioned ready for a fight, and all you need to do is just reinforce in the communications that I've got U-Haul, don't worry about it, I'll call if I need something. Like just little things that you can like say, and the real key to this and the art of it is minimizing how many words you use, but this gives you an example, right?
Oh, U-Haul.
Okay, it's a 2v1 right now. We don't necessarily need to take this fight. We can just fall back and then play a crossfire.
I think my thought process behind that was, if I'm gonna fall back to site, I might just dive from him peeking me. But I also, looking at it, I don't think I needed to worry about that.
I wanted you to fall back to Cubby, basically. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Just S key back and then go back there. Anyways, we'll keep her going. Does that make sense though? The little comms?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 100% it makes sense. I think it's just a lot like I've been working on my like taking fights and like the ability to know when I can just back off. And,
is that a GK60?
That's good. So you've had like you have like a focus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
And it's something that I always reinforce with students as well is that I don't really care what your rank is right now, right? I care about the long term and where you're going to be. So you're going to be Radiant at some point, right? It's just a matter of time. But in order to get to Radiant, or in order to rank up, you need to set yourself objectives for every single game, small victories. It's like a bare ass minimum again, right? So regardless of winning or losing this game, did you check off these 3 blocks? It could be 3 things you want to work on. For example, did I maintain head level the entire way through this entire game? Did I make at least 1 action comm for every single round? Did I set up a trade? Did I do this? Like whatever your goals are, at the end of this session, you're going to have some goals and things that you can work on. And you can say, okay, today I want to work on this and this. And regardless of win or loss, did I get those check marks on those things? Because in the long term, if you get more of these check marks, more of these things correct, and you're working on them actively, your rank will take care of itself, right? I don't care if you drop down to friggin' iron practicing these things, because eventually you're going to get to Radiant because you're working on all these things properly, right? And D-ranking is actually a really good thing, because D-ranking allows you to take these habits and play in an environment that's a little bit slower paced, so that you can pick up those learnings and be able to take them into a faster rate. I talk about with improving aim, for example. I had a TikTok just recently about starting off slow and bad, right? We don't want to be fast and bad. We want to start off slow and bad if we can, then become slow and good at it, and then fast and good at it. So it's like any kind of thing that you're trying to learn, going through that scale is super important to be able to pick it all up.
Shit.
Okay.
And your PCB just isn't working?
Yeah, I actually bought a...
Yeah, Kaneko says, always have goals for your games. So true.
And I was like, oh.
Okay.
That's a rule.
So this is like a macro concept for you. So they're on an eco round right now, correct? Whenever they're on eco, you typically want to stay away from the close range fights. This is more of like a team-based thing. You can't really control this in a ranked environment, but it's something that I want you to think about, because right now you are starting to do something called a funnel. Let me show you what that means on Valoplant. Hopefully everyone can see this. Can you see this right now?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So on Valoplant, we're going to use, oh, we have bind here. Perfect. If we go through here, okay, and even right here, for example, you're funneling yourself down close range angles, but you're also funneling yourself on angles where you can be crossfired. So like, for example, in this situation, you have someone in the TP, which could be dangerous if someone's in hookah. All of a sudden you're raining hell on both sides, right? Same thing happens when you're going through hookah, even with like all 5, which it looks like you're going to do, which is really rough because you got to jump through.
So bad.
Yeah, you got to jump through hookah. But once you get to this point right here on hookah, you got left and right. So you're getting funneled in 2 close range fights, which is ideal for a eco round, right? So typically speaking, if you want to win easy eco rounds in your rank games, you just want to take the extremities. Just take the extremities, because this will do something for you. It's called keeping the enemy in front of you. It's one of the protocols I always teach. So this one here, over here on showers, also works as well. And then you can like path people up nice and slow through short. But the idea is that taking the extremities will always keep the enemies in front of you, and if you're working in as a group, you already have a statistical advantage with your guns being a little bit stronger than their guns, so these fights over here will be a lot easier for you. And then obviously you don't want to send all 5 down long. Maybe you send 4, maybe you send 3, then you have 2 towards hookah, and then 3 over here, for example. But these 2 guys hookah go really, really slow, and these guys take first contact whenever you go in. And that would be more of an advanced version of this. But you can totally, on a ranked game, full send 5 down on long, maybe have 1 lurk, and then play from that and just take your gun advantage to that point. Anytime you go through a middle point, like this, for example, down here, you can have enemies on all sides, right? Okay, it's not working for some reason. There we go, perfect. You can have enemies on all sides, and then you're just funneling into this shithole, right? It's called the Valley of the Shadow of Death, and I should fear all evil, because I'm probably going to lose a round off something stupid like that. Make sense?
True. Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
That doesn't work with my switches.
Well, it does work with your switches. You just have to solder it.
Yeah, Kaneko says it. Take extremities on saves. It'll keep the enemy in front of you. I actually taught her that.
And
This is something that all ranks struggle with.
like,
Yeah, so
like, flash it.
in this situation, I remember seeing OD26 talk about this. You would never send 5 people down one path, right? It doesn't work.
Never.
Especially this one, right? Because go ahead.
It was so bad. I think it's because this entire round we were talking like
It's too huge.
because this is a trio queue.
This is
We were just talking about whatever the hell we were talking about. I think it was his keyboard,
I mean, we
and
go
it was
first,
just
you know?
like, yeah,
go for
it was like the whole
Take
like
your time,
bet.
we can-
with your brain, you will funnel to one site automatically, no matter what. You'll go with the team instead of like actually making a plan, and it was just
Yeah, and this is the nature of
Rough.
ranked. This is the nature of ranked.
yeah,
So-
unfortunately.
So, and this is why I say too, right? Like at the beginning of a round, it's the most important part of the round, the first
Yeah.
30 seconds, because you need to make a pre-round plan, and to make it really easy for your ranked games, you can just say, I think we should path long here, right? So at the very least, if you have 5 people going down, you're not running into a choke point where like there's a million angles that can shoot you and like a million shotguns that can destroy you, and then a million opportunities for you to go to add or remove programs and uninstall the game. You know what I mean? Like this is the shit that dreams are made of, and also the shit that makes people quit the game, right? So let's
Very
try
true.
to avoid those issues if we can, and make those comms pre-round.
I actually bought a.
The last VOD that we're going to be watching today has this problem a lot, right? And we'll be
Okay.
seeing a lot of examples where, like, hey, you didn't have a plan during this round, and his specific issue was that he wasn't staying present, right? He was thinking about what happened the round prior, and they're having a conversation for 30 seconds about what they could have been doing. Meanwhile, the round's about to start, and they have absolutely no idea what the fuck's going to happen this round, right? So this is like complete unpreparedness, and that leads to more round losses, more ultimately, right? But we'll see that in a few hours, anyways.
Fair enough.
So I noticed you do this a lot, and I
I
like the
do
molly.
that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the molly because you right here in this situation, right? We're 5v3, and anytime it's a 5v3 situation, I could probably use this pen actually. If I use this pen, you can probably see it, right? Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see this. Okay, so I'll just see if I can remember to do that. But in a 5v3 situation, smokes are the lower team's best friend, right? So the lower player team's best friend right now, right? So they can use these to get into lurk positions. So the molly is actually a good response, but I noticed that you definitely use utility quite quickly as Brim.
Yeah.
And the life force of Brimstone is really holding on to utility as long as possible, especially on your defense, because you want to be able to stall out and get as much value as you can out of these smokes.
Yeah.
Okay. And that molly can
I think-
be used. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, like, I think the reason why I've started like always mulling that specific smoke is because I've been burned on it so much that I just don't want to deal with it. And I think that's like something in my brain that I need to not have, because I've been burned on just someone having a shotgun in that smoke and no one holding it because I'm planting the bomb, and I'm just like, this hurts. But
And here's the thing, right? So you look at the situation as a controller, and you need to think about what fights do we want to have in this particular situation. If we're looking at 5v3, because a lot of the problems that controllers have is we autopilot smokes. We just do it because we've done it before a million times, but we're not thinking about the potential risk factors of throwing those actual smokes. We just do them, right? And everyone does this, so you're in good company. But we don't necessarily need to throw these smokes right now, right? It's a 5v3 situation. If we lose a 5v3 situation on, let's say, just complete dry fights right now, that's no longer a problem of strategy. That's a whole different issue. That's a them problem. That's your teammates' problem. That's your problem. It's aim at the end of the day. I would rather you take these dry fights right now than set up a smoke where people can lurk into. But because you've done that, you automatically need to respond with this molly right here, because it could lead to an issue, right? So I would say that in this situation particularly, we don't necessarily have to have the smoke down here. We could smoke off CT to prevent like a nasty kind of angle from there, but for the most part, I don't mind 3 of us, which is what's happening right now, swinging this guy who might be here, right?
Okay.
We should be able to win that. So it's just things to think about. I think it's a safe play what you're doing, totally fine to do it, but it's just one of those things where in the future, I feel like a smoke, not like this particular, or in this situation or in this map, But these kind of smoke that you throw autopilot, we need to be consciously thinking and critically thinking what could possibly happen and what we should do with those smokes in general.
We're smoking heaven.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah.
You can even argue that this smoke CT is not great for us right now, because if they go CT, it's a long-range fight, and we're probably going to win that fight, depending on what weapons we have as well, right? So if we all have Spectres, we probably don't want to take that fight.
Okay.
Good job, guys. Good job.
We won the bonus. That's always good, even though it started shitty.
Let's make this a good bonus.
Yeah, we're going. You do win this bonus. That's right. Yeah.
The bonus.
Yes, sir.
Now this is where Barras minimum comes into play, and I've already touched into it a little bit, but we want to, anytime we're down guns, we kind of want to work on the assumption we're probably going to lose, right? So it changes the way and the mentality of how you take those rounds. So if you look at what we've got right now, we have Spectres. Okay, what is the ideal range for Spectres on their fights?
Close
range.
Close or mid. Barely mid though.
Yeah, close or barely mid, right? I've seen so many VODs where people take a long-range fight with Spectre, with like not even thinking about it. And it's about the right tool for the right job at that point. So they take these fights.
About that.
You thought about this?
Not specifically in this VOD, but like I've consciously thought about that in playing my games after I've heard it from you, where I'm like, oh, I'm going heaven with a Phantom. No, let's not do that. That's not a good idea. Or with a Spectre, and I'm consciously thinking about right tool with the right job which is very good. It's actually helped me with some retakes, which is nice.
Yeah, it's an easy protocol to work with. Now, I'm not saying you can't go heaven, right? If you go heaven, let's say for example right now, let's use that exact example. You go heaven. We'll go with this one right here, and you've got a Spectre, okay? And you have your utility. You can Caterpillar smoke out of here, jump down, and then force a close range fight. You can totally do that if you wanted to, right? But that would be on a situation where you're in an eco round, all that good stuff, right? There's a whole bunch of different things that have to happen for that to work and make sense. But if you're the point is that if you have a certain weapon and you're not playing to its ideal range, what can we do to make it more an ideal range? The easy answer is to run through this way and then take this fight over here, right? But you can also create angles for yourself by using your utility to get that close range fight as well. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So back to the point I was making is that we need to think about what fights we want to take, right? So in these situations, it's actually very beneficial to be running through hookah, to be running through short, these kinds of angles. We want to be taking the center angles because these are going to be closer range fights. So if we take a fight over here and it's more close range, we have a higher chance of beating their Vandals. And our goal right now should be to either get the bomb down and get a couple kills, or, get 3 or 4. If we get 3 or 4, that's going to set us up for the later rounds and probably make it easier for us to win a lot of them. Okay? I think you just said it there.
I said it, yeah.
Very good.
Since we have Spectres, we should probably take short fights.
Like, I'll give you an example as a strat right now that you can just implement. Let's say that you're playing Viper, which I think is probably the better option on this map for you. I know that my Radiant team plays double controller on this map.
I think double controller is definitely better. I think single controller feels Brim is good because since you don't have dedicated smoke to like a different site, you have to always put this wall up, and then if you want to go B, you only have your orb, and you probably have to have a lineup unless you're wanting to throw it from hookah. But
well, this is the strat. This is the strat that they run several times, right? Whenever they're on a bonus round, we'll toss the orb right here to eliminate the close range fight. So if this Asher decides to push through it, then it's a close range fight. We win that fight. She will most likely fall back. The wall's up, and then everyone pass in. And we take the orb away, and then we take that close range fight. That would be like a way to guarantee a close range fight that should be able to go into our favor at that point, right?
Yeah.
And these are the
I do love this wall.
Yeah, it's a really good wall. It's a lurk wall. This is the mentality we need to have when we're on our bonus rounds, right? We're just trying to find opportunities to get some frags, get as many down as we can, see if we can get the bomb down as well, right?
So as Brim, I could double smoke the
if we're gonna
like front A site, and then we can go hookah kind of thing, or not hookah, U-Haul.
You could go, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can smoke right across. You can smoke right across if you wanted to, and then path right into U-Haul and try to get a frag there, right?
Okay.
You can do this with, if you have a trio, you can easily work within each other's ability to do that, right? And the other two can just do what they're doing at that point.
Well, this is
Okay.
I think the pathing that you guys are choosing here is okay. The problem is you're going to be going through hookah, right?
Yeah.
Smokes are out.
Now, here's another example right here, okay? You threw 2 smokes that are pretty much default. This is something that everyone sort of autopilots and does, right? The smoke function on CT is meant to keep the rotation going a little bit slower into the site, so you're focusing more on a 5v2 of that situation. I don't think it's a wrong smoke, but I think you definitely need to think about how can I get my teammates out of this hookah situation a little bit easier, right? I actually like a smoke positioned somewhere in front, right?
Okay.
Even on top of the site would be okay, covering this angle, so that when they come out and they're jumping out, they only have to worry about here, elbow, and then when they fully wrap around. Okay? So that's something to think about. The other thing you can think about too is if you throw it right in front of hookah, they jump into the smoke, and that makes it a little bit easier for them to actually get on site and then swing out of the smoke. This will make a close range fight at that point, right? So little thoughts that you can think about for that. I don't think they're wrong, but they're very defaulty, right?
Yeah, 100%.
52 Phoenix, 52.
Okay. And see how hard it is for them to get out of this angle,
Yeah.
right?
I have one smoke.
So as a controller, you need to think about how do I make the lives of my teammates a little bit easier. That's the real carry potential of a controller.
Okay. Yeah, I think being active, like in my brain with my smokes, I think is a thing that I need to be doing, because I'm very about like just defaulting and doing the same smokes over and over, which it takes less guesswork out of it, but I also think it's really hindering the ability of getting on to site like this exact moment.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say that my smoke pathing is the ideal 100% kind of work all the time sort of thing, but if you can at least get them past that jump point so that they can create an opportunity to get a close range fight, I'd rather you do that than set up defaults and just have them just get hammered as they're jumping out through the window, right?
Yeah.
Too often do I see it work that way, and I feel like statistically you're probably not going to be able to win a lot of the rounds doing that. Just think about the ability of the guns that you have, right? I think if you had Vandal versus Vandal, it's a perfectly just fine setup of smokes. It's all based on the situation that you have in front of you. Kaneko says, so trying to smoke to help them get on. Yeah, 100%. Change up your smoke so that they're able to path on the site a little bit easier. And one of the keys of what you can do is, as a controller, you have the authority at the beginning of the round to say, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Trust, jump through these smokes, right? Just really quick.
Okay.
Right? Let's force some close range fights. Let's try to get 3 kills this round. That's all we need to do. We don't need to win. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so let me see here. 4-14, there was a situation. Let me see. Okay, so there was a comment that was made here, and I said the problem with this situation is that there's always going to be 2 on B site because there's no need for them to rotate here. Yeah. There's no need for them to rotate here. So you're going to end up running into a 3v2 situation, which with them being in position will be harder for you to be able to win. Right? Even with the smoke on A, they won't move. So, and there's your 2 right there. Right? And I think you end up making the comment. I really don't like going through hookah.
I hate hookah. I hate it so much.
It's not a 1 second. Hey, Potato Taco, how's it going? Sorry, I didn't see you there. It's one of those situations too where it's like it is an entry into the bomb site, but it's not, like, in my opinion, a legitimate entry because you are literally airborne when you're going in. I think it's a good attacking point for, like, Rays, for example, who can just dive right through it, or maybe an Omen can teleport onto the site. But, like, for the most part, it's more of one of those spots that you want to just control and then have that as a staging ground so that your people long can hit, right? That's the way I look at hookah.
Okay. I think, like, after thinking about it a little bit more, I think it's like you send people long to take site, but you hold hookah, so they have to always worry about hookah.
Exactly. Yeah, and it changes the way that they think about how they have to take their fights at that point, right? Because at that point, they're like constantly worried about the right-hand side. Let me just give you an example. I think you're pretty much saying it, but I want to make sure that chat gets this as well. So, if you get control of hookah, okay, let's just say that we're this guy right here. It's kind of like the Queen Protocol, if anyone remembers me talking about that. The Queen Protocol is basically I'm controlling lanes, right? So if I have this section of the map right here, let's say that I have a brim smoke down over here, standard brim smoke that we were talking about, then anyone trying to go on the right-hand side of the site, if they're on the other team, is basically going to get picked off. So you're limiting how many spots people could be. Like they could be here, but you know because you'll end up clearing it at that point. But you're basically controlling this whole section. So you're eliminating an angle so that when people run in, your team runs in to site, they only have to worry about straight ahead. They never have to worry about the right-hand side because you have control over it. And that's really the power of hookah at that point. Levi, how's it going? I literally gave up the final stream for this. Oh, is it that one-sided, Levi? Is it that one-sided? You always talk about the right gun for the right job. What about the right pathing for the current gun? 100%. You're right on it. Trying to entry from hookah with SMGs is dangerous. If you cannot get in with no long-range weapons, but maybe pushing through showers because everyone is ecoed and can only buy short range, just a thought. Yes, 100%. Yeah, so it's the exact same premise. When you have a certain weapon, you definitely want to be thinking about what pathing you're doing, right? We kind of touched on that before when we were talking about, okay, we have a bonus round right now. We should probably try to find close range fights. So yeah, you can definitely argue that showers could be a close range fight once you get into it, right? 100%. Right path for the right job, right path for the right gun, right tool for the right job that you're doing. Okay, let's move on.
Kaylin.
Yo, Lavin!
Yo,
Brim, go shower.
turn me up, bro. You fucking can't even hear me when I talk.
This one right here is just like more of a situational awareness thing, and another opportunity for a comm that you can make.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information on the screen, like an amazing amount. It's so much that most people miss most of the things that are being said or shown.
Smokes are down and I apologize.
Close.
I think you do a good job isolating for this kill. Using the molly, I like it. I've done it before.
Yeah.
You're ready for it. That's
I'm gonna
good.
smoke heaven.
Okay. That was a really early smoke. All of the smokes were early.
Yes, yeah. So we talked about that too, right? It's about how much value we're getting out of our utility. So definitely. Here's the thing I want you to look at.
I think it's heaven.
Yeah. I'm gonna smoke heaven.
It's coming. There. Okay. Do you know what I'm going to refer to?
I don't know.
Okay. Where did this molly come from?
That is bottom sight.
Bottom site. You sure? Can't be heaven?
Or heaven. I mean, it can be, but...
Your original answer was correct, based on the trajectory of how it bounced.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can say one's on default box pretty safely, right? So one's on default box. Just like little comms like that can actually make a really, really big difference in the grand scheme of things. Won't make so much of a difference right here, but it's one of those things that's like, oh, I see how it bounces. He must be on the ground at that point.
Yeah.
Fuck, I shouldn't have.
Chamber was you, huh?
I shouldn't have.
So there's two 1A, right? Two 1A, and one of them is an opper. We could probably go towards B now. If Chamber's on U-Haul.
So can we leave? Can we get out?
Yeah, we can go. I have no smokes if we do. I literally no util.
You know what I would do right now? Everyone rotates really loud towards long and then run the TP and then go into A again.
Oh. I love it.
that would fuck them up so hard. Or you can even, just for fun, I like having fun, you leave Rays here with the bomb and everyone goes through TP. And then they go, oh my god, they're going back and forth, and then Rays just goes in right there and then just fucking plants the bomb on B. That's just hilarious. But anyways, that's the way my mind thinks.
He's sight. I hate you.
Just get out.
You do something crazy here, based on my notes.
Just let me play as an entry, just because I have no util.
Okay. So now you have to commit to this.
13 guns.
Yeah, now you have to commit to this too because of the timer. So wherever you end up being spotted, everyone's going to rotate to. And I
Yeah.
think
Probably
Chamber's
right
set
side.
up for a TP as well
Yeah.
to the right.
I have
Could be
nothing.
wrong.
Nice.
No util.
Damn, that's a nice
I'm
pre-fire.
going CT.
Okay. I feel like this knife pullout right here is a little sketch. Right?
100% sketch. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have no information on what's going on B. I think these are the two probably, and we have two over here. So it's unlikely that he's gonna be there, but we need to be careful of it.
I think my thinking
Come on,
was
Mike,
like
go.
he would have been peeking hookah if at all possible. Strictly because like if we're rotating, like if he's holding hookah from
Hello, Midnight.
elbow, it's like you're gonna get at least one, and then it's a well then that doesn't, because yeah, we have the numbers advantage. I'm not sure. I think I was not thinking and I pulled out my knife.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the numbers advantage because we're going to talk about that right now.
Okay. Oh goodness.
What's the numbers advantage right now? What's the setup?
4v3 and I'm taking a fight.
You're about to take a fight. Okay, run away. That was good damage. Just run away. Now they're constantly... You just existing... Here's the thing, right? I talk about passive impact, which is very underrated in the world of Valorant, right? The passive impact here is that you just did 3 bullets of damage. He's got 1 HP left, basically 1 more hit.
Yeah.
And they're now constantly worried and threatened by this angle. You just being alive is going to make it really hard for them to move up into the site. This could be time that can be used to knock down the bomb plant at that point and push it more towards that the point where they can't defuse. So things that you need to think about on that one, right? So if you re-peek here and you get the kill, awesome. But if you re-peek here and die, then it's like all the pressure of that angle is gone. Bomb's being planted and it's a 3v3.
Yeah.
Right? So risk versus reward. Let's see what happens. I think the re-peek is okay, but it's also things you need to think about as to how much pressure you can apply with that. By the way, if there's nobody here at this point, I'm assuming they're probably flanking.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice. I see you.
They'll be flying. What's you,
I got garden.
Yeah, you probably is flank
Play-
at this
play
point.
with advantage. I won't.
Midnight
Gets
took
there,
a break. Might come back semi-casual. Awesome, Midnight. We'll have to play together. Cryptic plays. Thank you so much for the follow. We're not worthy, but you are now. Thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate you.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna run long and die.
Run long and TP.
I mean, here's a fun saying, right? You know, the man who believes he's going to die will often find a way to make it happen. What you tell yourself will fuel the universe around you and make things happen and will attract energy. So be very careful with what you say.
Of course.
I was really hoping it would die there.
That'd be amazing.
That would have been great.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Dude, how, man? How do you play like that and still do good? I don't get it.
It didn't show pudding? I'm not sure what we're referring to there.
I think
God.
the follow thing? I don't know.
Oh, the follow didn't work. Weird. Interesting. Well, let me give him a test widget and
Do you
see
wanna
what's
try that
going on.
again, or do you wanna
Sometimes
try
it works,
D?
sometimes it doesn't.
Or we can play D.
There you go. That's what you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to
It'll be
hear.
less scary.
Yeah.
I can grab.
Thank you, Crypto Place.
Let's try not to push U-Haul.
Okay, round 5. Don't have any massive notes here. I do stress the effectiveness of this ult as well, right? And playing off your ult is going to be important.
Yeah. I've noticed that my ult on Brimstone is very hit or miss. I can do very well with the ult and really bad with the ult.
So
I think yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I ult back right, don't I?
Just one back.
I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. But here's what I'm going to talk about, right? If you are ever unsure about an ult, what you need to do is take a notepad and pen, or take anything, take your phone, and you need to write down 20 ways you can use that ult. And that way, if you have it in your head, or if you've thought about it, it'll be easier for you to learn, right? That way you can get all the applications for it before it actually happens, okay?
I'm on bench.
Where's the dono? Oh, Pudding donate. Thank you so much. Pudding donated 15 bucks. I don't know why it did not show up. That's weird. Thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it.
This guy's back right. I remember this round.
Let's go back a little bit just so we can see what's going on. Okay. Yeah. So you can play to live here, and just use your ult late round, because once again, right? It's what's the situation?
4v3.
4v3.
And we have 2 ults.
Yep. We don't need to invest our ult right now.
Sky 7.
No.
Jumped out.
When you ult like this in a situation where it's a 3 or 4v3 or 4v2 even, that means you're going for frags, right? And the amount of value that you get out of that ult, even if you were to kill both of them right now, is kind of like overkill at that point. Okay.
Even if I was going to use that ult, it should have been way more out.
Backside right. Oh, I threw. Why did I do that?
Don't peek.
Yeah. I mean, you caught it yourself. You're very good. Like, your self-talk is very good because you're realizing your issues right away. You're like, why did I do that, right? So,
yeah.
U-haul.
Yeah, we don't need. Remember, smoke's not our friend when we're up men or up players. Yeah. Okay. You have no idea what's going on in the situation. It's 4v2. I'd rather you just live.
Backside right. Fuck it, dude. Backside right. Oh, I threw.
Every frag that you give up has a cause and effect to the economy later on, right? And that can it literally could throw you rounds that you shouldn't have lost at that point, because the more vandals that you can buy, the more opportunities you have to carry, right, and win these rounds and win these games. Especially if you're playing with like a solo queue and you're not really 100% sure that your team is going to be great to be able to carry with you and like win, then you need to make sure that you are empowered with a vandal as much as you possibly can. Right? I trust you over these random 5Qs, right? I trust you over Jim from accounting, or Margaret from the law office, right? I'd rather take you over them.
Can you guys help me get the orb long, and then I'll ult into B?
Sure. By the way, they have 4 ults. Just
I can use my ult.
This round, I said not much to say on this round. I think you make a really good read on the ults here. Here's here's where I've seen this actually as an opportunity for you a couple times. This is something that I used to do a little bit when I was competing. Whenever I saw someone go across there, what's their natural response? What are they going to do when they get pressured?
They're going to TP.
Yeah. So what you can do, there's a little cloud here. Okay, let me use the other pen just so you can see it. There's a little cloud against this wall. If you bounce your molly off the cloud, it goes right into the TP and lands right where they will come through the TP, and they'll start burning.
That's evil.
Yeah, and then,
I love it.
Then they have to commit to a fight at that point. They either go through the TP, take a massive amount of damage, potentially die, or you have to frag them at that point and take a fight. All right. So one of those little fun things that you can throw in there.
DTP.
Because when I was playing beta, I'm like, hey, I've seen the situation a million times. I'm like, how can I fuck with these guys?
Do you have big balls?
Well, thank you, King of Pudding. I do have big balls. Thank you so much for your bits. Every time that goes off, that's like my favorite donation notification. Hands down.
In the smoke.
Ah, see that? See that? Now, here's the problem, right? I think they're on gun round. I didn't see. Let me look back.
They should be. I hope I press tab. I usually press tab, right?
Yeah. I don't think you press it. King of Pudding, dude, thank
5
you so
gifted.
much. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate you, man.
Nice. Thank you.
You're too kind, too generous, my friend. For anyone who doesn't know, King of Pudding is our admin for the Discord server, so show some love. Okay, let's see if you press tab.
Please press tab. I almost exclusively always press tab.
I got really angry at a student the other day for not pressing tab.
Oh, come on. It's because I'm talking about the previous round.
Yeah, it all
I'm
comes down
just
to that,
like,
eh?
I'm throwing. Don't worry about your throwing. It's okay. I did it.
Yeah, I can use my ult.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like you didn't press it at all. So I got really mad at Token Truth. I wonder if you're still in here. I got really mad at him for not pressing tab, and I'm gonna have to unfortunately do the same thing to you. Whenever I see a situation where someone's not pressing tab, I'm going to immediately assume you're only pressing tab to check your KDA. I'm gonna assume the worst at that point, right? I'm gonna assume the worst. So from now on, if I don't see it, I'm going to be really upset with you, okay? For whatever many lovely sessions you book me for in the future, if I ever get the chance to work with you again, that would be fantastic. But I will hold you fully and completely accountable for every time you do not press tab. It is the most important thing that you could press in the entire game. Fair enough?
I look at money so much, I swear. I swear.
I'm mauling him. I'm mauling him.
Left side, left side.
I trust you.
DTB, DTB, DTB.
If this KO doesn't alter, I don't think I actually kill this Brim. I'm gonna be honest.
You guys
I don't
are
think
so
I
kind.
don't think.
In the smoke, in the smoke.
Okay, so we don't know what the situation is, but let's talk about playing in smokes. Okay, Zach was probably in a situation where, what's up with pressing tab? Okay, let me go over this really quick. When you press tab, it allows you to see so much information. You can see if they're going to be on eco. You can see their ult charges. You can see basically get a good assessment as to what you think they're going to do this round, and you're able to counter that really quickly. Now, if we knew that this person was on eco, we could assume with that smoke being thrown down, there's a chance that he could have been playing in it, but we don't really know that. So we didn't go into the expectation that he could be lurking in there ratting us out, okay? There's a lot of stuff on my TikToks that talk about that specifically. Definitely recommend looking through a few of them. TikTok is at Worthy TV. So take a look at those things, and then I can see if I can link you some stuff. Join the Discord if you haven't already, and then send me a message and I can link you a little bit more information on that. But there's going to be a lot of situations in this stream today where we'll talk about scoreboard assessment. Okay. What was I talking about? So we don't know if he's going to be on eco, all that good stuff. Here's the thing about smokes. Once again, guys, if they're on eco, they will rat into it, right? If they're in a situation where they know they're dead, let's say they got out of position, they got caught out of position, okay? Maybe Zach was trying to support his sky and then he realized, shit, I have no time to run away here. He's only got one option, and that's going to be to either smoke himself out so that he can sit in it or play a ratty angle so he can get multiple frags. Typically, if you're on CT, the rule of thumb is if you have to play a one and done angle or you have to play an angle where you're going to probably die, you must take two out with you. So that's probably what he was thinking about right in that situation, right?
I got it.
There might have been something else I wanted to say there, but I completely missed it.
God, this
Remember, Sky was DP.
I think it's also a Counter-Strike thing, not pressing tab, because Counter-Strike doesn't give you any info, ever.
That's the thing about this game, right? This game is Counter-Strike easy mode. Right?
It's so much information. You don't have to do math in your head about econ, like...
Yeah. We are blessed. Like, if you play Overwatch, for example, Overwatch gives you, like, one little piece of information. It's like how much their ult charges is, or their ult up, right? Or for your own self, I think it is. I can't remember. But just, like, barely any information. And I remember when I first started playing Overwatch, I'm like, holy fuck, like, I don't know, where's my minimap? I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at right now, right? So there's, I gotta change that stream elements thing. Holy shit. That is wrong.
I hate this.
Yeah, you clean up this round pretty good, so I think that's the only thing that we need to talk about is how people are going to react in certain situations and why they would rat in the smoke.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting you. I'm trying to.
I swear I pressed tab more often.
You didn't.
Hopefully
You're
I do it this
fucking
round.
liar. Oh my god, you haven't pressed it yet.
Please press it. Press
You
it.
haven't pressed it
Press
yet.
I can press it. I will press it.
Ah, there we go. Okay, cool.
There you go.
So
They were on an eco.
Yeah, they were. They were on an eco, so you should have been expecting that. Now, let's see. Allow Nate. I got some people who need to allow chats here. Cobra, we'll call you Cobra. Cobra, we're gonna have you do an assessment of this round. What do you think they're gonna do? What's their situation? What do we have to worry about? I'm gonna have you answer as well, so Cobra can do it himself in chat, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, go ahead. What do you think is gonna happen this round? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry. This round, they have 4 ults. They can literally do whatever they want. We should probably default. They have a full buy. Like, I also should definitely ask my raise to buy me instead of not. We have zero, or we have a raise ult, which we can get on site with, but I really think that we need to either fake, because we don't want to get hit by the Brim ult, the Fade ult, and we can probably fake those and bait those ults out. But yeah, I think it's just it's a money advantage. We definitely need to play cautious because the Brim ult, the Sky ult, and also the Fade ult.
So the situation that I'm seeing right now is I think you're definitely right. We need to play slow, right? Because we need to see if we can like bait out ults, or you need to see what they're going to be doing. But one of the things that we need to think about is what we need to do too. So what is the easiest orb for us to grab?
Shower orb.
Shower orb for us, right? So what I'd like you to do on this particular round is take a partner with you. You have a 3Q with you, and see if you can get control over showers and get that orb. So at the very least, you're not 6-7. So if you get one frag and you get into a post-plant situation, you have your ult. We need to be able to try to manage our ult economy as best as we possibly can to counter this right now, because we are in a 5v5 right now based on the money, right? But they're in a significant advantage to win this round because of their ult economy.
Yeah.
So we need to take that into account, and if we can try to even the odds a little bit as much as we can on the alt side, getting the orb right now would be fantastic for you. Plus one more frag. Okay, but that's for later on. You can get that by getting the orb and then planting the bomb. You already have your ultimate at that point, right? So those are things you want to think about too. So how do you want to play against that? So I think you got a good read here. And at the worst case scenario right now, if we lose this round, is it a bad thing or is it a good thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think
because they'll probably invest ults.
I think no matter what happens this round, it's actually not bad for us, right? Because we've got more than enough money that we're going to be able to buy the next round. I do believe.
Sure.
Yeah. So you'll have 1900 right here. Everyone's going to have 1900 because we're going to be reset here. So and the other good thing about this too is if we reset here, their bonus is going to reset. So if we can at the very least get rid of these ults, if we can do some damage to their economy, all that good stuff, the next round we're going to have a significant advantage. They're going to end up buying up to try to match us. We beat them there because we have a better economy, and then they're going to be reset again, so they're going to be on a double round loss at that point. So no matter what happens, we're going to be really good. But I think this is how you want to be playing the round based on what we see on here, what we have.
No,
I honestly think I stopped thinking about like round resets after Counter-Strike changed it. So like, because Counter-Strike used to have a full round reset after you won a round, but now it's like it knocks it down one by one. And I think I stopped thinking about like economy resetting, which is I haven't thought about economy reset literally since Counter-Strike like changed it, which is crazy to me.
So, and this is the cool thing too, because I'm gonna talk about this on other TikToks and whatnot. You know, once again, the most useless piece of information is the KDA. The reason behind that is because that's the past. We can't change the past. We can only look to the future and stay present. So the things that we need to focus on when we hit tab are the credits, first and foremost. The next thing we want to look at is the ultimates. And the other thing that's really, really good, there's two things. The ping, right? If we see someone who's playing on the moon on the other side, we should probably hit their site, right? It's just like straight up. Think about that.
Yeah.
The last thing that's super important, we talked about it just now, is who is winning the rounds in what row, so you can see where their money is at, how much money they're going to be making in the next round. So you can think about how it's going to affect them. If we lose this round, it's not necessarily a bad thing because then their loss bonus is going to reset. So this time, if we win this round right here, and then we go to this round, they're going to be on an eco for sure because they're at 1900, right? So these are all the things that are super important information. And Cobra asks the question, what is the scoreboard assessment? Right there in like 20 seconds, I basically explained everything that you need to be thinking about and knowing when it comes to that. Okay. Cool.
Yes. Okay.
You coaching too?
No, I'm recording it so I can get.
I hate it when people discourage other people to get coaching. Like,
Same.
It's like it happens in personal training all the time too. It's like, why are you shitting on someone, man? I mean, he's your friend. He's probably just, hazing you, whatever. It's fine. But like, don't. It's completely legitimate to get another set of eyes on something or ask for help, right? We have this ego about us, especially men, I find. We have this ego that we just can't ask for help. That's the whole premise behind the song Lean On Me, right? Like, we're here to help each other. We should be helping each other as much as we possibly can. Even if it's not me, like if it's another coach, do it. I fully endorse it, right?
Yeah.
We should be supportive of them. I really like how you position this second smoke, by the way. I talk about, actually I did it the other night. I talk about how we want to try to give them as much little space as we possibly can. If you toss your smoke here, instead of like right here, it's just like you're just giving them an extra couple feet of space that they don't deserve at that point, right? So that's a really good mentality to have. I like that you're doing that.
That was thanks to my coach, my other coach.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I approve.
I never did these side smokes until he told me about them. I always did the default smokes, which are like the Heaven and CT smoke, and it like ever since I started doing those smokes, I've been doing a lot better on Brim Bind, which is.
Oh my god, I almost died.
This whole round is a mess.
Yeah. Okay, so this was a really bad decision.
Oh yeah.
If I was the other Brim, I probably would get an ace here, and I'd be very thankful. I'd be very thankful of you, and trust me, I probably would have gotten it because I've played a million hours of Brim when I was playing in beta, so I've seen these situations before. So you know from your threat assessment of pressing your tab key that this motherfucker right here has an ult, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a good situation to be running into the TP. As soon as I hear anything going to the TP,
one shower.
even right now, I have my ult out. I'm probably sitting back site waiting for the bomb click right now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if I hear TP, I'm blasting the shit out of that TP.
What? I got
Right?
Yeah. No, that's 100%. Oh, it's so many kills.
Lucky for us, this Brimstone shit.
He's terrible. God awful.
You should be dead. Get out of here.
Shut up!
Get out of here, please. I'm scared for you. Please get out. Right? He's probably not gonna blast you now. But he's probably not gonna blast you now, but like there's a high chance, high risk of that happening, right?
100%.
No, they're in the smoke.
I don't agree with his ult there. I don't think that was a great ult. I think that was a really bad investment on his part. If you can get 1 or 2 kills here, beautiful. If you can get 1 more, that's huge. Don't even win the round. Yes, nice. That's huge. That's going to lead us into the next round very well. Love that.
Probably shouldn't have killed him, but.
Why do we plant into?
I planted safe because I wasn't sure.
Either way, you went for it. And that was good.
And I fucking
He's caps. He's claps.
Just a waste.
Built like that. Yo, can I have your ops gun?
She promised that I'd fucking continue to scream at me.
Morning, Tri4. How's it going? How you doing?
Can you buy me?
My life is my hobby.
Raised by the Brim.
Alright, I have ult. I can ult the U-Haul.
Sorry if I haven't responded to chat in a while, guys. I'm just deep in this conversation here.
What?
I'll knife it just to make sure somehow. I'll knife it just to make
Okay, you knife it first, and then I'll
Yeah, people
fucking
shout
pop
out.
it.
I like this.
Alright,
I think
never
you
mind.
No one there. No one's there. No one's there.
Beautiful.
Watch showers, please. Smokes are out. Stim is out.
I thought I saw someone showers, but I think it's just because of this. Hang on, let me get rid
It's
of
the
this
dot. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the dot.
It's throwing me off.
I'm running the showers. I'm running showers.
I'm smoking. I'm
One bench,
okay.
bench. Bench dead.
Smoking.
I just need to focus on what's happening.
I have ult.
I have U-Haul.
I'm gonna play back.
Yeah, so you don't even have to play in here. You can just play back.
Just don't try not to be.
I'd probably go showers here.
I'm dead here. It's gonna trade.
Makes sense.
Oh, they fucking got me through the footlocks.
I have ults. Just play off the ult.
I'm just eating my survival pudding because I'm too lazy to make any other pudding. Okay, understood.
He is the king of pudding.
King of pudding.
Play off the ult. I'm gonna push them into you. I'm gonna push them into you. Okay.
I like this mentality. That's good. Okay.
I'm very
so-
sad about this round.
Yeah, okay, so I remember what happens here. So you ult him,
Same.
and you're ulting him into you. Remember that. You've set yourself up for this situation,
Yep.
right? If you had ulted the other way, then he would have fell back, and that probably would have been enough to win the round at that point, right? So you were autopilot based on the plan that you were going to have before, and that's what's going to lead to this specific issue. So you get this kill. You know he's got to be pushing
He's
you.
gonna flash me.
Well, you know he's got to be because you forced him in this
set up
situation. Yeah. You forced him here. So you actually shot yourself in the foot with your plan. And that's why that happened.
It's because the chamber died. I was so sad. I'm
Well,
like,
okay, and
but even then, I need to,
I mean, the other thing too, right? So you get this kill, you need to go right over here, run away, because you can't be on the bomb.
Yep.
Just hide in a situation. Just run away, or even like tuck behind the box. You need to survive for actually like 1 or 2 more seconds. I don't have. Oh yeah, here I do have it here. Okay, perfect. We are going to talk about bomb timers as well because it's a very important thing. So 4 seconds to plant the bomb. These are the things you need to know. You can write these down. 4 seconds to plant the bomb. 45 seconds for the bomb to explode. 7 seconds for a defuse, and then when it's halved, it's 3.5 seconds on a half defuse. Okay.
Okay.
Those are very important things to know, right? So you're at a point right now. You can't tell because it's hard to hear, but he almost had no time. He almost had no time.
Almost.
Almost had no time.
Please. No.
So all you need to do is actually survive for about 2 to 3 more seconds.
Why are you talking?
Alright. So yeah, that was a painful post plant. I think you know what needed to happen there.
Yeah.
This
I would have
round,
loved to just not lose that.
yeah, there's a lot of rounds, you know, that we definitely could wish we have back, but fortunately it's in the past now.
Exactly.
Okay, we're just fucking autobotting. Right?
Okay, so this round, once again, you don't have a pre-round plan. I don't think you hit tab. Did you hit tab? I don't see it.
I did. I swear to God, I did.
All right.
I think.
Marcus didn't have his TPs.
Why?
All
Come
right.
on.
There
Do
it
it.
is.
Yeah!
Every time you get to this point, you hit tab. I don't think you pressed it for very long though, so we're gonna assume that we don't know what the hell's going on. Let's see. Okay, you do. Cool. You've got enough time there. I think you got an idea of what's going on. I think you can hold it for longer to really make a plan. But anyways, so this round is all about playing numbers, sliver peaks, info holds, and fadeaway shots. Okay, so there's a lot of mechanics here, and you actually, I'm going to applaud you on this round because you do a really, really good job. I've been waiting for someone to give an example of this. I was literally going to start doing a video for YouTube about it because nobody's been doing it. So I was like, hey, clearly it needs to be learned. But you did it! So we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. I'm excited.
Yes.
Dan, how's it going? Welcome in. Dan's going to be a student of mine soon enough. I know that. I'm looking forward to that session. It's going to be great. All right. So playing numbers. Your pathing decision right now is not good, right?
Terrible. Awful.
This pathing decision is slaughtering your team over and over and over again. And the definition of insanity is doing things over and over again and hoping for a better result, right? We are clinically insane at this point. Okay, all 5 of us are clinically insane. They're just trying to get through this hookah thing like it's like the best thing since sliced bread. It's not, right? So that's one thing. All right.
Oh my God, my game is lagging.
Mulling backside.
Let's take a look at the number situation in a few seconds here. Furbo Val, Dan, thank you so much for following. We're not worthy, yet you are now too.
We smoking CT.
Okay. Number situation right here. What's the number situation?
4v3.
4v3. Okay. 4v3. We do not need to do anything. We do not need to force the issue, right? They need to come to us. They're down players. I want you to hold this angle and just fall back shooting if they push into you, okay? So you can actually fall back a little bit further. You don't need to push this. So the angle that I actually want you to hold, I'm going to show you right now in Valoplant, is, let's use your Brimstone. You're right here. And you just can fall back to here in this position. So you're literally going to hold here. They're going to push into you. Let's use this Ash right here. They're going to push into you. You shoot and fall back. Okay? This is funny because this is probably a familiar play that you're going to see yourself do a little later away. This is called a fadeaway shot. Okay, you can hold that angle as well, actually. You can hold the sliver angle right here. So this angle right to this wall and to this wall right here, okay? You do not need to push. As soon as you push, you are committed. We're going to be talking about this a lot throughout the day, Okay? Whenever you're in this kind of situation, you have now committed yourself to a fight. There's no escaping. There's no fading in and out of walls. You're basically going all in poker, right? You ever play poker before?
I haven't, but I know what it means.
Okay. You're basically saying, I'm going to get rid of all my betting power. We're just going to let it out in the odds and see what happens, right? So there's no way of bluffing my opponent or anything like that. I'm committed. You are now going all in when you push this. You do not need to do that. It is a 4v3 situation, okay? I'd rather you play an angle like that, where you're back there, fade away shot, and then fall back to this position. So once again, just so you can see it, you're right here, and you're peeking down this sliver right here. You don't necessarily have to commit to the fight. You can take a couple shots and fall back, right? And then once you do that, you then fall back to this one and do the exact same thing. Sliver angle again, holding for information, take a couple shots, fall back. If you frag them on there, awesome. If you don't frag them, it's not a big deal because you slowed them down and you're working the timer in that point. Holy crap, there's 23 people watching us all of a sudden. I looked up and I'm like, shit, there's a lot of people in here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so let's go back into it and let's watch your brilliant fadeaway shot. You guys are going to see this is another form of peeking, right, that I don't see a lot of people doing, and I haven't been able to cover yet. I was literally going to make a video on this, so I'm so excited to watch this play right here. Okay?
I don't need to watch that.
Beautiful. Look where he is right now, guys. Okay? He's in a situation where his body's being covered, relatively. He could get pre-aimed here, but he's going to react this way.
Up.
See how he immediately falls away? His mentality, and I hope you're having this mentality because I'm going to be thrown under the bus if you don't, but his mentality is, I just need to live, okay? I'm going to fire a couple straight shots, I'm going to run away. He instantaneously ran as he was dying, as Kanye West fan 911 was dying. And this is the kind of stuff that you want to be doing more often, okay? Because these are the ways that you want to be holding angles when you're up numbers. If you're up numbers, you don't need to force the issue. It's a beautiful play. Let's watch it one more time. Okay, you can play this a little bit more tighter, right? Maybe have this wall just like covering here, just so you have the information, because you're not going for the kill here. You don't need to go for the kill. You got the time. Time's on your side. He's got to make the play, so don't force the issue. But this situation right here, you bring it a little bit tighter, have your crosshair there, and then fall back as soon as you see him. Okay. This is a scenario that can help so many people, right? You need to make an intention behind all your peaks. Is my intention to actually go for a frag? Or is my intention just to go for information? Is my intention to survive, right? And you need to make that determination before you actually make that peak or hold that angle. So you did a really good job there, and I hope that you're actually doing what I'm saying you're doing.
I think, if I'm gonna be honest, I think what I was doing there is I was wanting to hold an angle so I could just kill the Reyna, but I had the ability to back off if I needed to. I don't necessarily think I was thinking about like just playing for time. I think I was just like, it's a 4v2. If I die here, it's okay, but I can, you know, I can get the frag or I can run away, kind of thing.
Good. I'll give it to you. Because you were thinking about escape routes, which a lot of people don't do. They don't think about, how do I survive the situation if it doesn't go well, right? So I think you did a really good job with thinking that mentality. And most people, I'd say, the difference really between like gold and ascendant is that, like, how do I keep myself alive if something does not go well? Where's my escape route? And not a lot of people think about those things.
You don't always want to be doing one and done angles, obviously.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, we're gonna do a mental projection here. Let me go back a little bit. We talk about mental projection quite a bit. It's where we make an educated assumption where we think people are going to play, and it's very important on T side because that will help us determine what path we should be going on, right? So right now, I'm gonna say there's most likely 3 on A. There was a reason why I said that. I think let's watch the round real quick. Let's watch from the beginning. They're on eco again.
Here, but they look pretty brave.
One push short.
Okay, so we have Sky. Sky on B, he's playing up close. We have Fade Util, there's one over there, so 1, 2 for sure.
Nice.
Okay, there you go. This is my tell right away. I know there's only 2 on B. Okay. The reason being, and there's probably one rotating now. There's probably one like in CT, probably rotating towards B. Okay. The reason being is that they're playing up so freaking close. Right? Now, is there a chance that they could be lurking? Yes, it's an eco, it's possible. But I'm going to make an assumption, an educated assumption, that there's probably only 2. All right? And that means there's 3 on A, and there's probably 1 rotating right now. So these are the things that you want to be thinking about for calling a response strat after we've gotten a kill. Okay? So, let's go into it.
We can rotate off that.
Most likely 1B, 1A. We're going to see that in a second here. So another trade. Perfect, you got the trade. Okay, so it's most likely 1B and 1A at this point. So if we all just group up and then take it, we'll be good. Right? We'll be able to work easy trades. So you just wait for your team and then you move in together. Notice the spacing here. Okay, this could be dangerous because there's probably still 1A. We don't have showers clear. Okay, showers. Jesus.
That was really loud.
Okay. Oh, I lost it. Shit. Let's go back again. What round was that? I can't remember. Back. 21. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let's go back.
Brim, get into this, man.
Let's go back to
I'm
that.
gonna try and go for the gun hookah if you want to like.
I really want to skip that yell. Okay, so right now,
Let's do.
you are not safe. Okay, showers are not clear.
This fucking guy.
In these situations, I want you to click the bomb real quick if you're not 100% sure, and then just check, wait for a second, and then plant afterward.
Yes, good.
Big planning.
Does holding an extra tight angle while spamming wall after movement count?
I'm gonna play in you hall.
If Brim gets 1, he has his ult.
As long as you can survive, Nate, it's fine.
Actually, I'm not gonna play
Your goal is survival in this situation. Yeah, U-Haul's not clear.
I swear to God.
We could just skip this last part. It's okay.
Yeah, we already passed through this. Okay.
Oh,
All right, so this round.
Talking about Chinese fucking food, and I'm just trying to focus up on this fucking guy.
This round is an interesting round, because we're gonna be talking about bomb timers and driver's protocol.
God
Okay.
damn, bro.
Have you heard me talk about the driver's protocol before?
Bro, just shut up.
I think I've heard about it, but I can't really fully remember it.
Okay. Do you drive?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Just like in driving, there are mirrors in Valorant. Okay. One mirror, your side view mirror, is your mini map right over here. Okay. Your rear view mirror is right up here, and it holds the most important information because that includes the timer, right? But it also includes how many people are alive, and it gives you the situation of what's going on. You also have a side view mirror, which is your kill feed right over here, and your windshield is right down the center. Now, I'd say when you're driving, 80 to 90% of the time, you're probably looking towards your windshield, but occasionally, for information, for your own safety, you're going to check your mirrors occasionally. Usually your right side, you're not going to check as much because it's just one of those things that, you know, you check every once in a while, but it's mostly going to be these two that are going to be dominated mostly, right? So having that in mind, you want to treat Valorant like you're driving, okay? And you want to be checking these things on a regular basis. So I get the question a lot, you know, some people say, I get caught looking at my mini-map too much. You know, people shoot me as I'm like peeking out. That's because they're not understanding this protocol of like, you have to periodically check it when you're in a situation where there is danger. When you're in a situation where there's no danger, you can actually have your eyes as completely fixed on it at that point. Okay? Makes sense?
Yep, 100%.
Oh my God, this is such a... Buy me, motherfucker!
Team perceived off, right?
And the driver's protocol literally comes into play with that same situation that we saw last round.
Yep.
Do not commit this ult right early. Do not commit the ult early.
That means he's here.
Unless you're combining a Raze ult with your Brim ult, don't combine an ult, or don't use this ult early. That's just one little thing. So what I mean by that is that you can ult stack or you can ult combo with like a Raze jumping in here, and then you can like eliminate one huge angle for him, so that when he comes out, he's only looking to the left or something like that. Like you just ult back here, and then it's like then he goes in with his ult. That guarantees you a good amount of frags when you pair those two ults together.
There's a 2A.
And that's not talked about enough, right? Like what characters work well with each other, who enables who. That's
kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, like who enables who is a very important thing.
I'm dead.
Okay, so you know Sky's there. You know Sky's off to the left right now. What did we talk about before?
Cloud. The cloud.
Yeah, the cloud molly, guys. Anyone who's missed this one right here, this is like OG shit that I learned in beta. You bank your molly off of here, and it will bounce into the TP. That means if someone's playing in the situation, they have one of two choices. They either go into the TP and start cooking, or they have to force that 1v1 at that point, right? So they got to make a decision on their point. There's a chance they'll probably survive, but you might even catch them off guard at that point. And if they see that the molly goes in there, they're probably like, oh fuck, I'm stuck now, right? So if you ever get in the situation, what's that?
Sorry, like, and even then, because the molly's coming in, they might just think it's going to land at their feet. So they go into the TP, and they die.
And then they start burning, yeah.
Exactly.
It's a really fun one. It's a really fun one. But anyways,
I'm going to do it.
Driver's protocol would have told you, if you were to look at these things and see it in the minimap, you would know. And there's a lot of information that is telling you this stuff too. Okay?
What do you got? He hasn't TP'd yet. He's in the corner. Okay, TP.
I was gonna also say that you have ult and you can ult it, but that I think you can only do that back in beta. You can reach the ult over there because now they've shortened it. But that was my instantaneous thing. Was like, oh, ult TP and then force a push on him, but you can't do that anymore. So
unfortunate.
It was too OP. It was just too OP. I understand it. Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
One backside. Fade backside.
One corner.
In the two.
So there's a situation where you could have ulted for your raise to be able to enable him a little bit better to eliminate some angles. That would be something that you could do there.
No, why me, dude?
Guys, I hate when people do that.
Oh, why me?
Here's the thing: when you're running into the site, and I don't think this is a situation that happens here, but when you're running into the site, it's automatically assumed that one person's probably going to die on that rush. In this situation, it was Yurd. Okay, you just need to accept that because, yeah, it happens. Someone's got to be the sacrificial lamb. Someone's probably going to die on the entry, right? If it doesn't happen, it's usually because the team's just not good. Here from TikTok, how's it going, Jake? Jake be great. How you doing? Welcome in.
I think there's only 2 people alive this round.
Driver's protocol will tell you what.
There's 3.
There's 3 exactly. You have plenty of time here. Plenty of time. You do mention that you only thought there was 2. But even if there's only 2, the way that you played this was still incorrect. Let's watch.
Okay.
You need to ult. You hesitate.
So the reason I didn't ult was because since I thought there was 2, I saw 2 on my screen. I thought the chamber tapped and then held me. That's why I didn't ult insta.
Then another confirmation for you. Okay. Watch this. There's no way that chamber could have been on the bomb.
No way.
There's no way because he came from here, right? He was over here. So this further confirms that there's definitely 3, right? But the big rule of thumb here, or the protocol for you is there's the driver's protocol. You need to be checking your mirrors, right?
Check my mirrors.
Check your mirrors. And this worries me, my friend, because if I'm driving next to you, I'm thinking that you're not checking your mirrors, right? And if I'm coming up next to you, I'm worried you're gonna merge in my lane, man. I'm kind of scared. Are you a good driver, man? Be honest.
I'm a great driver. I even have a huge rearview mirror that I check so much. It's not in Valorant, and that's gonna change after today.
Beautiful.
It's gonna change.
Once again, guys, here's another piece, right? We need to remember these important numbers. I've already said it once. 4 seconds to plant the bomb. 45 seconds for the bomb to explode. 7 seconds from the beginning of a defuse for the bomb to be defused. 3.5 seconds if the bomb is halved. So at this point, I was screaming, please, for the love of God, ult. Please do it, right?
I should have.
And then you do it as you lose. That's the worst.
That's the worst.
Ouchie. Ouchie.
Big ouchie.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I thought there was.
I cannot stress enough the power of the driver's protocol. Right.
I thought there was 2 alive, so I was gonna.
Just periodically checking, right? If you hear a sound, you can just go look over here. I'm just looking, right? If you watch me play in my TikTok, the one I posted today, you can see when I'm doing it. You can see when I'm checking my mirrors, right? Just watch my eyes. I'm like, I flick up, I look away, flick up, look away.
I went to work and I came home and played, and now you're making me not want to fucking play. You have good vibes.
Okay, so this round is all about action comms. We've already talked about this in the TikTok today, which is great. So we're gonna see another example. Okay, action comms, numbers comm, and post-plant positioning. This is a really big round. Really big learning opportunity here, okay?
I thought there was 2 alive. That is on me. We don't. Wait, no, that was our ult. Never mind, I'm stupid.
What?
For some reason, I thought they had a KO.
You have no smoke?
Yeah, I have 1 more smoke.
Oh, is your teammate doing the ult?
Yeah.
You guys can't see this right now. Let me move them. Who's got ult right now?
Big Brimmy boy.
You need to be very careful with these TPs. I'm telling you. Like, good
I'm
Brim
gonna
is
start doing that. Like, as soon as I hear a TP, I'm ulting the other side of the TP.
Yeah.
Because it's just free kills.
Eliminate them.
When he's free.
Don't play
Rain is you, huh?
Don't play there.
Oh my god, he's out.
Okay. Hang on. We just had an infraction. We had a major infraction, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on 1 second. Let's return here. Let's watch this again. All right. This is called the oh shit line. Okay, the oh shit line protocol. You ever driven with your buddy in a car and he starts doing some crazy shit on the? I'm using another driving example, but he's probably doing a little bit of off-roading, a little bit of crazy shit, right? Maybe he's doing some UEs in the middle of a highway. Like you're not feeling too comfortable. You know that handle above you in the passenger seat?
The oh shit handle.
The oh shit handle. This is the oh shit line protocol. Okay, so in this situation right now, okay, are you safe from long?
Not at all.
You have zero idea if anyone's pushed through here, okay? So this line right here is the oh shit line. And you will notice in other VODs that we do today, there are some major infractions of the oh shit line where people will start doing the safety dance protocol. And that's when I press this button.
We can dance if we want to.
We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well then no friends of mine. Every time you see someone go freaking out, like they're jumping around, like, oh shit, that's a safety dance protocol. So it's a good combination. We don't unfortunately get to see the safety dance protocol today, guys, on this particular VOD. But we will see it later on tonight, which is going to be great. We're all going to be cat jamming out to the safety dance. It's going to be great. But yes, this is the oh shit line right here. Think of it like this, okay? Anytime you are facing the oh shit line or exposing yourself to the oh shit line, your gun should be out and you need to be clearing it, okay? At the very least, be looking at it, okay? So if right here, right now, the oh shit line is pretty much here to here, okay? And then here. Anything past this line is oh shit territory. Right there. Okay. That's where the threat's coming from. So the general rule of thumb, if you ever get caught out with utility, it's probably because you've broken this protocol at that point. You should have like a line in your head mentally as you're looking around, like, okay, I'm now facing a threatening angle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh my god, he's out.
This guy's backside.
Let's do on backside. Good kills. Beautiful. Okay. Situation is 4v3.
Dude, I'm out.
Someone go elbow.
Okay. This is a really good comm. Because right now, it's a 4v3 situation. We don't necessarily have to be in sight right now. Right? The bomb is planted for long, for garden. This is a concept called stretching. Right? we want to stretch typically on a post plant if we have the opportunity. The reason why we do the stretch, like moving away from the bomb, so the bomb gets planted, we want to move away from it so that we can create more of a time period that these guys have to frag us and be able to defuse the bomb. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, for example, all 3 of us move up on this smoke here, and we all get fragged really quickly. That is that's a huge amount of time that we could have potentially had to narrow this 45-second bomb timer down. Okay?
Yeah.
But if we play further back, they now have to move into the site, they have to find us, frag us, and then finally defuse it. So that will, every second really counts when it comes to the bomb timer, because that increases our win percentage much higher every second that ticks off a bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
100%.
The big key here is to identify when post plant happens and decide where I need to be. Okay, so we're gonna go back, and I want you to tell me when post plant happens.
Nice. You guys have.
Dude,
Well, it can start the post plant now, technically, after we clear site.
As soon as you kill those 2 guys, post plant started right here. This is now post plant. So now you need to decide, where do I need to be, right? So the key is really identifying it. Is it ever okay to smoke U-Haul on bind when attacking? Feel like I get flamed for using a smoke there. Okay, let's talk about that really quick. There's a lot of situations where that could be a thing, right? We used this example with the Viper and having people strafe up through here on like an eco round, or like a round where sorry, I'm trying to think of where we're on a bonus, basically. We're on a weak buy. So if you have a smoke like that, you drop the smoke afterwards, and then we all path in here and take close range fights. Like, that would be a good legitimate way to throw a smoke onto the site, for example, right? I wouldn't say brimstone smoke there. If you brimstone smoke here and we run in and they have this, they can actually use it against you to basically route in here and create a potential multi-frag. That's where one of the risks of doing that for is, right? The other thing too is that when you smoke here, you give up all of this play space. So you're essentially not controlling part of the map that is kind of critical in a post-plant situation. U-Haul is arguable as a critical situation, because if you went through showers and planted here, then you don't necessarily need to have U-Haul, but it is one of those things that it's kind of like a... you kind of need to figure out which part of the map you want to control, right? And I think every situation is going to vary based on who is alive, who isn't alive, all these different things, right? So if you show me a specific example, Jake, where you throw that smoke, I can be like, probably not a good time to do that. I would say most of the time, probably not great. But if you're Viper and you throw the smoke and you want to path through it, that could be a good option if you're doing it on an eco. Cool. All right, so let's go back to this. So post plant starts now. Key to determining what you need to do is identifying when post plant happens, and then from here you need to stretch. Okay.
Take more space.
There you go. You're kind of stretching, and then you went back, right? You were about to stretch.
Yeah. I didn't want to leave the Fade alone on site, which is unfortunate, but...
So you just tell Fade, I'm playing back in Garden. If Fade decides he's going to play on site, that's his own problem. What he should be doing is playing with KO. Right? He should be doubling up with KO over here. The other thing, too, is that I want you to actively action calm the player situation. Because right now, where are your eyes?
Should be probably up in my rear view, but I think it's on my crosshair right now.
Yeah, it might be on your crosshair, and right now it's a little bit detrimental to be looking at your crosshair. The reason being is that there's no character that I know of right now that can run through this wall, right? So It doesn't make any sense, okay? So you should actually be looking up at the minimap or the rear view, and either one would help you to identify that Archaeo is about to feed, right? So if you just calm really quickly, 4v3 situation, no need to peek. Even if he does peek, it absolves you of guilt at that point, because you did your job, and I wouldn't hound you for it. From now on, if I don't hear those comms in our future VODs, there will be hell to pay.
Okay. I believe it.
Because look at this. You didn't see it really. We can probably go back a little bit, but watch this real quick. Watch this real quick.
He flashed it. Oh my god.
He's peeking into 3 motherfuckers. All right? This guy's going to die. All right.
This poor
He
gentleman.
dead. He's so
my God,
dead.
he instant died.
Right? He's so dead. Right?
They're all there.
Why don't we have Fade use Prowler and hold angle into where KO is watching? Okay, so you want him to Prowler into CT? Is that what you're saying, Taco? You want him
I
to
think
Prowler?
what he's saying is with KO and then he prowlers the corner.
Yeah, you could have done that too. Or Fade could have done that. You could have been there with him. There's a whole different things that he could have been doing, right? For sure. 100%. You're right, Potato. Yeah. That's why I was saying Potato, he should actually be with KO in that situation, in elbow. And if they wanted to double swing it, they could, but they don't necessarily have to. They just need to control that space. And yeah, so that's where you end up dying here, because you end up stacking on, and now 1, 2, 3 people die really quickly. It's actually what we drew up at the beginning of the round here. So if you die really quickly into this, now it's like all this potential time you could have used to narrow down the bomb timer is now just basically been given to them. The only way that teams will lose in these situations where you're up players is if you peak. I say it over and over and over again. It's a 4v3 situation. Let them come to you. Guys, think about it like you being on CT side, right? When they come into the site, it's like we talked about. One person's probably going to die. You have numbers. You have attrition right now. The bomb is down, and now you are technically on CT side. You need to think about that.
Yeah.
I need to hydrate? Okay. I'm going to hydrate now. You are on CT side. Once that bomb goes down, the roles reverse. So when they come in and hit your site, kill their first guy, get traded off, it's a 3v2 situation. You're still maintaining your attrition, your numbers at that point. All right? Let them come to you. Don't force the situation. And if you're not the driver's seat or the controller of the person who's peaking, it is your responsibility to remind your players to slow them down.
Where do you want to hit?
Huh?
And that's your action comp there.
Mortal.
That makes sense.
Yeah, at least.
Okay. So remember how we talked about placing smokes in certain spots and not giving them free space?
Yep.
I don't think you throw it here, but you give them a lot of free space. Jake, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming out today.
I know it's easy. I need to play and do it. I need to do it anyways. That's why we 5-stack.
I agree with you. 5 stacking is a lot better way of learning and playing together and whatnot. I definitely recommend it. And for anyone who's looking to do 5 stacks, hop on my Discord. We have a growing looking for group community, and you guys can easily just join that and find like-minded individuals that can 5Q with you and make some new friends and whatnot. We will be doing 10-mans in the future. We're going to have some events together, probably when I come back from TwitchCon in a couple weeks. That's when we'll start running those things. So it'll be a great opportunity for anyone who wants to learn and whatnot. But that being said, you don't have control over all these other 2 people that you have with you, right? You cannot blame them, because when you blame, you stay the same, right? No matter what situation you're in, if you're solo queuing, right? You know what you got into, and we just need to accept what it is. Everyone's at their certain level of growth and learning, right? And you got to where you were because you made mistakes. So allow them to make their mistakes and get good as well.
That's why we 5.
Of course.
So do not give free space as a controller. Make them work for all their space. As a controller, and even on CT side in general, for any kind of character, right? So this is now, you're now conceding all of this space here, right? You're just saying, sure, you can take that. That's a staging ground. When they have a staging ground, they can now utility in without having to worry about the mid-fight. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over this real quick because it's a very important concept. Let's go into Valor Plant. Okay, we're going to go on defense here. I got so much shit on the screen. Is there a clear? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we throw a smoke here, right?
Yep.
This is eliminating one section of the total round fights that we're looking for. There are 3 stages to a fight. The beginning, the middle, and the end. BME. Okay? the beginning is the initial push. Yoga with Jen, how's it going? Yohana, hello, welcome. Welcome in. Good to see you guys. Holy shit. The beginning, middle, and end. Let me just get through this concept and then I'll say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
So the beginning of the fight is generally found when we're dealing with map control. Okay? So it's a tug of war sort of thing. We want to be able to put our utility a little bit further back so that we're not giving all this free ground. We're making them make a decision. And if you watched one of my recent TikToks talk about if you see utility be thrown, you have to respond with utility in kind. And one of the roles on defense, especially as a controller for you, is to be a toll booth operator. And what that means is we want to tax the enemy on a bunch of different things. One of them being time. We need to be able to tax them on time. The more time that we spend making them come into the site, the less time they have to plant and more pressure they're going to have on them. When people are under pressure, under stress, they're more likely to make mistakes. We see this on LAN all the time. When you change the environment of how you're playing, it changes the way that you react to certain things, which is why you've seen probably the guard struggling so much on LAN.
Worthy, do you have big balls?
I do, Yoga with Jen. I do have big balls. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate you. All right, so time is one of the major things we can tax people on. Utility is another thing that we can tax people on. Okay, so utility being used at the beginning of the fight to be able to get through the smoke, for example, is utility that will not be used on their execution, right? Which is really important to stop big time rushes. So utility and time, two big ones. Another one is lives or damage.
Wait, do you have, Worthy, do you have big balls?
Everyone's donating bits now because they want to see if I have big balls. So lives or damage, right? So for them to take this space, let's say that you're holding this smoke right here, okay? And they run through that. Let's say we have like, okay, we'll use the same example. We'll use KO, okay? Just like in our last video in TikTok, KO runs through without throwing utility. He ends up getting waxed, okay?
He's just dead.
Now you fall back and then they take that space, right? It costs them 1 life to take that space. And that's totally fine. We fall back and give them the space at that point, right?
And then I can smoke again in the spot that I originally smoked, and then they have to do it again.
And then guess what? Then they gotta do it again. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes so much sense. So I'm writing all these rules down.
Yeah, you know. You're a toll booth operator, my friend. Yoga with Jen's balls are bigger. There's utility, time. I keep forgetting all the things that we can be doing. Taxing. What else can we tax on? Oh my goodness. Utility, time, damage. Sometimes chip damage is enough for
mentality.
Yeah, you could say that too. There's more to it. Utility, time. There's another one. I forget. I got to look at all my rules again. But that's the point right there. Okay, so that's a big piece, right? So everyone gets that understanding. So let's start again. So you start off with this. The beginning of the fight, let me go back, is this situation. Now, the middle of the fight is when typically they will utility through here, and then you go here and you kill your smoke. So now they're all in this situation where they're like up here and they're taking space. Okay, they've taken space. Now what you're trying to do is with your buddies, you're going into the middle part of the fight. In the middle part of the fight, so if we write that back down again, beginning, middle, and end, the middle part of the fight is retaking ground and map control that they have taken. So there's an opportunity right here where if you throw utility, let's say you opened up with an ult, for example, and then you re-smoke this spot, now they're going to have to fight for that utility or that spot again. Okay? So this is the point where you push people back. A lot of people fall apart on the middle part of the fight because they don't understand that concept. Radiant teams struggle with this the most. Most people just skip this altogether. They do rushes, things like that. That's typically what you're going to see with the beginning fight. Now, the ending part of the fight is once they have the staging grounds, once they have the map control, and you've taxed them enough, they're going to use whatever utility they have left to start taking the bomb site. The end part of the fight is also considered the post plant, but that's later on. So the end part of the fight, now you're on site and they're using utility to be able to attack right over here. So the big point that I'm trying to orchestrate for you here is that we don't want our first fight to be on the bomb site if we can avoid it. So in this situation, if we put our smoke here, We're now creating a middle part of the fight where they have to decide what they're going to do with their utility. The same thing happens if you put your smoke here and you were to have people playing inside hookah, because now they have to fight for this staging round. If you throw it here, you're giving them all this space and you're saying, go ahead, for free, without any utility, you can take hookah. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
It was a long-winded response and answer, but it gives you the idea.
It's extremely helpful, so.
For
Okay.
100.
Jen scribbling down notes with quill and ink. I love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so let's watch. Zoom in here. We're going to go to... We only have a few more rounds we're going to cover.
Fade and Sky are
Oh,
green.
shit, there's a lot of rounds. We're going to have to move quick because I am behind on schedule here.
Smoke too good for you.
They're not coming here.
Yoshi, I will get to you as soon as possible. I'm sorry about this wait. Okay, so we're gonna look at I'm not gonna do red eye peaks on this one, guys, because I know there's a lot of people that are like, nah, not red eye peak, whatever. I think I'd like to actually test that out because I think red eye peaks do have a disadvantage. I know that the elbow peaks out a little bit more on the right hand side because you're holding your gun that way, so it'd be fun to look at it and see if there's actually an advantage and disadvantage. But anyways, we'll talk about that another time. So this is a geometry peak. You've picked him and that works, but as soon as you pick him, everyone knows exactly where you are going to be, right? Naturally, they're going to be able to find out where you're going to be. So,
Sky are both one.
re-peeking again is a dangerous thing. It makes them have the advantage right now. And they're far away from the natural angle, so you're going to appear a lot faster on their screen than they're going to appear on yours, right? You don't know where they are. They know where you are. There's only one angle you can be at. So, in this situation, you could actually use your smoke to smoke yourself out to be able to move into the site as well. Okay, so throwing a smoke here is not a bad idea. I think you elect to throw the smoke here. And the problem with throwing the smoke there is that you're getting limited value on it because it's being thrown really, really early. This is Ascendant 3, correct?
In this one, it was Ascendant 2.
Ascendant 2, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, let me see what we're talking about. 3 elements of this peak and why you're losing it. Geometry of how far you are. Slight difference in player's model peeking out to the right. He knows that you're last fragment chamber. Okay, yeah. So you need to smoke yourself out, basically, at this point.
Okay.
And we talked about smoke positioning. Let's consider the value of the smoke right now.
Very limited.
Very limited. We can't really use it right now. We're thinking about setting up that smoke for, like, when we get on the bomb, which we're not even close to getting to the bomb yet, right? And this is one of those default... I got a train emote. Holy crap.
50.
We got a hype train going? Holy shit.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Thank you so much, guys. Holy crap. Appreciate you all. 600 bits, 2 subs.
50 on Brim.
That's my second hype train ever. I love it. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you. So... Yeah, so the value on that smoke, it's sort of like, it's an autopilot smoke that people throw on a regular basis because they've seen it being thrown a million times. But we need to critically think about the utility that we're using and how we can use it to best serve us in the moment that we're in. Okay?
I say we all 5 go U-Haul.
And this will take experience. Alright guys, this is actually a really cool strat that Carter calls here. Thank you so much for the follow, Mika Sensei. How are you doing? Welcome in.
Come on.
Marcus, please.
So,
you all have classics.
what we're doing
If
here...
you're not here on A, then...
Yeah, what we're doing here is we're going to group up and then see if we can rat out some kills, which is awesome.
It's just one I heard.
Hey, whoa.
These are the kinds of plays that you want to be doing when you're on eco, because there's no risk in doing it. If they end up running into A right now, we have a high chance of causing some damage, right? Especially if they run into U-Haul. So this is, once again, establishing a bare-ass minimum for ourselves. We want to think about what is it we're trying to do this round. We're trying to accomplish getting a couple kills here and there. We lost the last round, so we're financially not in a position that we can win with a high percentage. They're going to have a higher chance to win this round. I actually don't like you throwing the smoke here.
I don't like that smoke either, because then they like know that someone's at least here, or and they also have to like, they're like, oh, we can rotate to B.
Yeah,
instead of running into our shotguns.
The other thing that it does, though, is it says to the opponents that, like, okay, we have to use utility to get through this. We might need to go slower because they could be ratting in the smoke. You know, you're actually deterring them from coming into the site if they were planning on doing it. Taking a break from Minecraft and your coaching so far is interesting to me. Mika, thank you so much for coming by. You know what? I haven't really taken on Minecraft. I played Minecraft like the first couple of days when it came out, ever, like when it was free, and I'm like, don't take this the wrong way, Mika, but I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Sorry. I was a first-person shooter player, all in all, right? So I fully respect you as a Minecraft player. Fully respect you as a Minecraft player. I think it takes it's a lot of creativity, and I just didn't have that. I wasn't the creative kind of guy. So
That's fair.
I was the guy who was the bonehead first-person shooter player. I just wanted to shoot things. So fully respect you as a Minecraft player, man. And thank you for coming by.
Hey, look, we got a Vandal.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to make. That was the point I was going to make. That was the point I was going to make, okay? What have I talked about, guys? In one of the most controversial TikTok videos I've ever had, don't buy a Vandal. Don't buy a Vandal in your second round, right? Because then you create opportunities that you could lose on. And I'm sitting here going like, Carter, prove me right. Come on, Carter. Prove me right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a round of applause for Carter.
We love Carter.
Here it comes. Give me the clutch, baby. Give me the clutch. Prove me right. Prove me right, Carter. Let's go, baby. Yeah, there's one. Fuck. Oh, damn it.
But that just had to go off.
That could have gone so wrong for the enemy team, right? That could have gone so wrong. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, in your ranked environments, be very careful with buying Vandal or Phantom second round. It can go really bad really quickly. I got so many people in the comments saying, wow, I'm going to have my teammate pick it up. Okay. You know, there's lots of things that can happen in a ranked environment. Now, if you're in a scrim environment with high-level teams, you're on Optic, and you've planned it all out, and you've run through all the scenarios in your head as to what could happen, then yes, you can buy your Vandal. If you really want to buy your Vandal, that's great. But if you're in an environment where you don't know who you're playing with Mike from accounting, right? You don't trust Mike from accounting because he's a really good accountant. Like, he'll help you with your taxes, no problem. But if he picks up a fucking Vandal and he dies with it, he's probably dropping it to the enemy team, and we're going to get into a big, big shit show real quick. Okay? So that's what it is. Take it for what it is, right? All right, let's watch what's going on here. So I think you got timing there. What's happening? Let's go back a little bit more because I missed something.
I'm not even sure. KO, I think, died showers, and then I thought they were going to push, so I was going to molly. Then I smoke mollied, and then they went up fucking short.
Okay.
Listen, these guys play super fucking slow, so just be aware.
It's funny because I think you say they play really slow and then you get timing here.
Don't have to rotate.
I do. Don't. Yeah, because I think it goes through the smoke. Or something. I don't know what happened.
Or op when they grab op when they're 3 and 10. Hey, here's what I will say, Kaneko. If it's not working for you with the rifle, maybe you need to switch to an op at that point.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think there is something to be said about that. Maybe you need to switch to an op.
One deep long.
Even between like Vandal and Phantom, I find myself like if I'm hitting shots all game on like attack with Vandal, and then I like start whiffing, I swap to the Phantom, insta just headshots. It's a weird mentality thing, and you can't do that in Counter-Strike, and I think that's why like it's so debated. Like, oh, Vandal's amazing because you can one tap from any range, but like Phantom is better for spraying.
Yeah, in Counter-Strike, I always liked whenever I'm holding things to have the M4 just because it's like straight, it's gonna shoot.
Yep.
Right, I can rely on it. The AK, when I'm taking space and I'm on offense, I need to have that one-hit kill because it's so much more of an advantage.
Yep.
So
100%.
There's like an actual like system behind having in that situation an AK-47 or an M4. In this game, there's a little bit more variety to the gun itself, right? There's certain ranges that the Phantom can actually still one-hit kill, right? So if you're positioning yourself in situations where you like to take closer fights on your gun rounds, Phantom is actually a really, really good tool for you to use.
I think that's what happened here is like because I was using Vandal all attack, and I swapped to the Phantom here because I'm going to be playing U-Haul a lot or Sight or
Yeah, Potato makes an interesting point here. It's funny because from far away, the Vandal has bigger spread for far away. So technically, if you have good crosshair placement, Phantom is better. Yeah. I mean, I used only Phantom. I almost said only fans. Only Phantom in beta. I didn't use Vandal at all. I didn't like it at all. Okay, so you could have been timing here, my friend. They killed Loud to Speed Optic. Oh, well, it is. There it is. RIP Optic. I thought Optic would win that anyways.
Same.
So they took showers like 6 seconds ago. You could be timing here. And I'm like sitting here cringing, like, you know when you clench your ass cheeks together really, really tight as you're watching something? That's this time, right? That's me. Right? I'm a little bit anxious right now. A little bit anxious. And then when you put the smoke down, I'm like, okay, that's a little better at that point. All right.
There's 2 showers. But we have bomb.
I'm missing out on Worthy OnlyFans. Where's the link?
Yeah.
What do you think, chat? You want some feet pics? If I do anything more, then my girlfriend will kill me. It's like, you can show your feet, just not your dick.
Some has a share.
We'll have to ask Nikki next time she's on stream. It's like, do I have your permission to do OnlyFans? Okay, I need to coach your friend. Like, I really.
He does that. It's a meme thing. He also doesn't care about the game. That's why I stopped playing with him.
Okay, you don't play with him anymore. Okay, but
no,
I'm worried for his mental health. I need to I want to have a conversation with him. you say the same. Yeah, like, he's telling himself a ton of lies, and that's a big problem for not just Valorant, but life as well, right? Because he's probably making a ton of mistakes.
Oh, this round. Oh,
yeah.
I remember this round. I
okay.
hate this so
all right.
much.
So there's so much here that we could talk about. Now, bomb is down. There's 8 seconds left on the clock. The only way he can win this is if he frags you guys. And if you grope together like this, that is the only way he can win. This was on you. 100% on you.
I just needed to run away. I'm like, I need to support my fade.
Brother.
But no, I can just go freaking
Brother, you
elbow.
could have been in Hawaii. You could have been anywhere, man. You could have been putting your feet up with a bunch of honeys, sipping a pina colada anywhere. Just don't be in fucking hookah. Why? You were creating an opportunity right now for him to win, all right? And then what you do afterwards really upsets me because we were just talking about it. Like, you could have lost that, right?
I could 100% could have lost
Listen,
that.
everyone, chat, listen to what he says afterwards.
That could have been really bad.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I didn't want it. He fucking backed his ass up into me.
Whoa! Whoa!
No.
Hang on, sir. Are you blaming
not
Fade?
his fault. That's not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault, man.
Not at all.
Holy crap, if I can reach through my screen and smack you right now, I would. That was not his fault. Fade actually plays this really well. And actually, I will tell you this right now. Fade makes some fucking amazing plays in this game. He's got a big fucking brain, right? He didn't have to actually be holding that bomb either. But him being there, he was already committed. You jumping in creates a winning opportunity for Chamber. Okay?
Oh, Lord.
Here is the rule. When you blame, you stay the same. Okay?
Stay the same.
You stay the same. Do not blame.
Trash, bro.
That one was on you, 100%. You
On
agree with that?
100%. Yep, 100%. Seeing it now, I'm just like, oh my Lord. Oh my God.
So Fade and Chamber usually go showers.
Okay, so this round I just want to hear more comms. We're gonna skip it.
Got it.
The next round after it is basically using utility too fast.
Okay.
So I want you to notice, and this is something that you're not doing you're not doing a really bad job on, but Brimstone's life force is on his utility, right? His direct impact is utility. I like this first smoke early on because we talked about it right before, right? Like we're fighting for space, fighting for control.
Yeah.
This one, I don't like.
I think the reason why
nothing be long.
I do it is because I don't want him holding hookah. But I also he has an op, I'm pretty sure. My thought process is not correct there at all. But
you
anyway.
just need to space out when these smokes are getting thrown.
Okay.
That's the big key, right? Because within 20 seconds, you've lost 2 smokes already. Third smoke's out.
I have to use all of my smokes.
And then you do this.
Get 'em all out.
I'm leaving your
All of my util is gone.
All of it, and it's a minute and 7 seconds left. You're basically useless now, right?
Yep.
Short of getting frags. So,
They're defaulting.
food for thought. That's all I'm going to say. Just make sure that you're controlling it, and you want to space it out. I do a really good example of this on Split. It's an old beta video. If you can remind me through Discord.
70. I didn't.
By the way, did you see that coming? Because I did.
Sorry, go back. I was typing in the rule you just told me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the chamber op peak.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming. Not at all.
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
like-
Chamber hasn't been spotted at all, and he's got an op. So the way that you're
Yeah.
peeking this needs to change, right? Whenever there's a threat of an op, you need to change the way that you peek. You can't be peeking out wide. Okay.
If
So-
if I killed him, I wouldn't have changed anything, and that's the bad part. Because if he just like slightly wide peaks, I kill him, and then I don't change anything.
And yeah, and you know that's a great thing, because I say our opponents are our greatest teachers, and
Yep.
when they don't punish you for your bad play, it makes you worse as a player rather than
It
being
does.
good. We all have a responsibility to punish the shit out of each other so that we can all be better, all right? So we're gonna go and say hello, or Helio over here. I want you to message him and give him a good fond thank you for punishing you today. Okay? Find him in your
will reach
match
him.
history, add him, and send some love to him. Okay?
70. I didn't.
If I see him again, I 100%.
Helio, I just wanted to say, man, thank you so much for making me a better player today. Appreciate you.
Honestly.
Brim has ult. Brim has ult.
And there's been so many times in
Default.
the last little bit, because I haven't been playing enough in the last couple of years, that my mechanics and my movement is just absolute dog shit trash.
This play.
Okay, yeah,
this fade play.
We're gonna play this over so you can see it, what happens. But anyways, this is what I'm saying. Like Fade's got a big brain. We're gonna get through this. But as I was gonna say, it's been in the last few years I haven't played enough, so my mechanics, my movements, everything's really terrible. And there's been times in my games where I will actually text the other person and apologize and say, I'm so sorry I didn't punish you for your shit play there, right? That's completely my fault, man. I just made you worse, right? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, you'll understand one day, you know? Okay, so let's watch Fade here, guys. And I want you to listen to the comms that everyone is saying in this particular clutch.
Do I say anything? I think I don't.
I think you do.
Think everyone. I do? Oh no.
I think
Oh
you do.
no.
I think you
Please.
do. This is a really good round.
It's such a great round.
Yeah, it's a fantastic round. Let's just watch this death one more time, just so we can accept the fact that you're being punished.
Oh, yep.
All right, guys.
And that also wouldn't have happened if I didn't throw my smoke so early.
So watch this fade.
Brim has ult. Brim has ult. Default.
The fade doesn't have any ears. No sound.
Okay, let's let it play out real quick.
This fade was gold episode 3. Like anyone can do it. You can just big brain it.
Okay. Let it play just so that we can hear what you say. Oh, sorry,
I think I say this is a play.
Okay, 1 second.
What?
This is a play. I don't know how good it is, but it's a play.
TP though, he's just gonna run out.
I don't think you have enough time to run there.
Oh,
Oh my god, you're so
Wait, what?
fucking brain, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I doubted you.
So you guys are all like, oh my god, what's he doing? What's he doing? Like you were like, you're like kind of neutral, but you.
I was
had
like,
some
it's a
doubt.
play. I don't know how good it
You had
is.
some
but-
doubt. Anyways,
Because like if Faye just takes sight, like she has bomb fight, like, but that's so good.
The point I was gonna make on this one, let me see if I can find the note that I have here for this one. It is, okay. Less judgment about what others are doing, more focus on what you need to do. Okay? Because in this time, while he's having a 1v1, you could be, holding tab and looking at what the situation is going to be next round, making a plan. Like, this is all time that could be used for you, rather than you worrying about what the hell Fade's doing. you haven't walked 1,000 miles in Fade's shoes to know why he's doing what he's doing or she's doing what she's doing. So you gotta let them play, right? And just don't regard anything or make a comment about anything that's going on right now, because there's too much of a job that you need to take on for yourself to get set up for your next round more than anything. Okay?
Yeah, I do.
Shit out of you, dude.
You read that guy like a fucking Dr. Seuss book, man.
I love that.
Good fucking job.
Just,
Oh my god.
just gotta support your teammates. Gotta support your teammates.
This will be the last round that we'll watch together, and then
Awesome.
we'll move to wrap, and then we'll get Yoshi in here.
Wait,
down.
Fade,
Awesome.
He knows I'm up here.
How many chamber
So-
shots can you sell?
This round is once
How many
again
chamber
just another
shots plant? He has
example
no
of
idea where I
utility.
am.
Remember that Brimstone's utility is his life force, so let's watch how fast his
Eyeball,
utility
eyeball.
goes out.
Thank you.
Back those smokes up.
Yeah, I think
Hey, you're coming in. I have
yeah, if I had that, like, they would have had to use util to go through it. This ult, like, okay, so should you ever just, like, when you hear a tap, should you always use your ult, or do you think if you hear a tap, you can hold off on the ult until they tap again?
Well, you don't need to ult until you hear a tap. That's for sure.
Okay.
I would say
Yeah,
that, right? Because there's a lot of things that can happen right now, right? So, for example, maybe they go into the TP and you just ult the TP, right? We talked about that before. So we've seen the situation a few times on the opposite side, right? So, this molly, first of all, was way too fast. Let's not even talk about the ult. This molly was way too fast. You're mollying the site,
I vault.
and they're not even in sight yet,
Thank you.
right? I'd rather use the molly to stall out when they tap.
I'm coming in. I have ult for plant.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's just too early. Like your utility right now is so far back, and giving them space first of all, and giving them all this time, you're getting little value out of it right away.
Okay. Yeah.
Typically, when someone ults, you want to respond with an ult. I don't think this is the time that you respond with your ult. I think it should be KO ulting. That's just another thing. Anyways, U-Haul is a really good option. Once you hear this tap, I actually like it. Here's a couple of options for your ult, okay? Things that you might have not considered.
Waiting.
So obviously the U-Haul is one. It's super simple one, right? You might catch someone who's not ready for that ult, right?
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is when you hit a tap, what you could do is move your ult. This is something that's like probably not talked about ever, but you can put your ult here. Okay? And it can act as a surrogate smoke, so KO can swing out and shoot the planter instead. That could be something. That could be an option, right? Or you ult right there on the edge so that he backs up into it, or he has to push forward into out of it into KO at that point, right? So there's a few options there. I would say that either one's good, or you can wait for the tap itself. I think you do it too early here, right? Is that what happens?
Good planning.
Yeah.
Sir Hate, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna smoke showers.
Okay, so the big thing here is that two of your pieces of utility had little to no value, right?
Yeah.
And that's really where a lot of the issues came into play.
No, I had my fucking util out.
If you have a smoke over here
Showers.
at the beginning too, in U-Haul,
Yeah.
let's go back.
How many
And if
chamber
he
shots?
does plant, he has no idea.
And you
where
know
I
that they're
am
going to be
or
running
anything.
in. Like, let's say that they're going to throw the Fade ult in. They're probably going to come in on it. Just toss a nade or toss the molly right into your smoke and hold them off for a little bit so that people can rotate. That's another option,
You buy him.
right? So
You-
if you're
yeah.
so if you're throwing this down, don't give them this free space on U-Haul. You can play over here for right now for a little bit, and then just see what they're gonna do. Play out the smoke.
So I think there's a lot of reasoning. I think there's some reasoning behind what I was doing, and the one reason why I was distracted in mid round, I was
loud
thinking
winning.
we were trying to buy, and I was just asking how many bullets Chamber could sell, but he wasn't listening. And then I also wanted to not play in U-Haul because of the Brim ult. I usually do molly that front smoke pretty much always when I hear something coming. but this time I think it was a combination of me knowing they had Brimalt to not play in U-Haul, and then also to the whole like pre-round thing.
Okay, this is your positioning. This is where you want to be, right over here.
Okay.
So you can toss your molly in there if you wanted to.
Okay.
Off of the default box, basically. So good
I
assessment.
I do like playing that angle. I think I got burned on it. No, I didn't get burned on it. I don't usually play that angle, but when I do, I always usually get kills. So I think I need to start playing that.
Well, the other thing too is that if you do your pre-round assessment and you're teamed up with these guys, don't be afraid to say like, okay, let me throw a smoke right over here and let's just take control of showers, right? Because there's potential they could be running through here. You have 2 in showers at that point, and you play retake from showers, right? That's another thing you can do. So there's a lot of options here. We don't need to play conventional every single round, right?
What steps outside of shower?
They're A.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Is I'm kind of like automated in how I'm playing rounds, and I need to get out of that. I need to be more free. I need to innovate more. Like I think when I was playing B, I started doing like a long smoke so we can get an orb, but then I died through my smoke at one time, and it was like, But
yeah,
that's like one death shouldn't matter. Like,
well, you need to ask the question: why did you die through that? Was there a situation that happened that caused that, or was it just completely random? And then you gotta chalk it up and see, like, maybe I gotta do it again, run more experiments to see if I'm gonna get killed that way again, right? There's a lot of things that we need to look at. But I would say that I would rather you limit test a little bit more, because the biggest issues that I find with Plat, Diamond, and Ascendant is their unwillingness to try plays or do things or act. They usually don't act in certain situations, right? It's like, oh, you had an opportunity to do this, and you didn't do it, and because of that, you didn't carry the round for your team to win, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's something to be said about limit testing, what it is that you can and can't do, and then go from there. But yes, you did a really good job with the assessment of the Brimalt, so that's good. Okay, awesome. So what were your top takeaways from today? We're going to get Yoshi in here in about 5 minutes.
My top takeaways. Well, I have an entire list.
Choose 3.
Choose 3. Okay. Have little victories each game. The driving. Val equals driving.
Drive protocol, yeah. Driver protocol.
And don't let them take space for free as a controller. They need to use util to take space if you are using util. To make them not have that space, or they just die. You know, you can tax them on util, lives, or time.
Beautiful, my friend. I love that. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, cool, Sir Hate. What's your thoughts about Raw Excel? I'm assuming Mouse Excel. Why don't you tell them that you're playing Mouse Excel and explain what's the benefits? Real quick.
So, I started playing Raw Excel or Mouse Excel, and I honestly think it's changed my aim a lot. I think I'm able to make smaller adjustments because I have a lower sense in general. Like at the start, I can make slower assessments better. When I am making those flicks, the flicks are still at a right enough speed that I feel comfortable, and I can still do 180s or big flicks very fast, especially with the curve that I have, which is a gradual curve that tops out at a certain sense that I have.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Do you have any socials that you want to plug into the chat or anything, or you want to send to me? I can put into the chat yourself.
Sure. I mean, I'll.
What's this ICEKEYBOARDS.ca? What's this all about?
So that's my that is my website. I have a website about building keyboards. So if you ever need a custom keyboard made in any type of color or thing, I can definitely do that for you. The other thing would be my Twitch. So my website and my Twitch.
Cool.
The two things that I would.
Twitch is okay. There it is. I'll just copy and paste that. So yeah, give Vice Keyboards a follow. Keep track of him and keep him honest, guys. If you hop onto his Twitch, make sure that he's still doing the things that we talked about today. Right? It's up to all of us as a group, as a community, to help each other get better. So Ice Keyboards, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Do you do all kinds of switches with your buttons, like blue switches and?
Yeah, so basically, I'll get like a kit from like a company, and then you can get it in like colors, whatever colors you want. You can have the keycaps, whatever colors and theme you want, and then the switches we can pick loud switches, quiet switches, tactile switches, all this other stuff, and it's there's a lot of variation to that. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to looking that up, and I did kind of quickly look at it slightly, but I didn't get to go really deep into it. So, awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ice Keyboards, for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll give you a round of applause, and then we're gonna move on. So, I'm always a resource to you as well. So, if you know of anyone that would benefit from coaching, if you have friends or family members or people that play Val that that would benefit, feel free to refer. Word of mouth is the best way that my business grows. So anyone you do send to me, I do appreciate that, and I would love to keep working with you in the future. So when you're ready to go, I usually recommend at least 2 weeks, but if you want to do something like a weekly thing, I do have some clients that are doing week by week. We do at least 1 session per week, so we can talk about whatever it is that works for you, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Awesome. Yeah, I think I sent Honey to you, and I believe
awesome.
she's getting at some point. But yeah, I definitely will.